They win 2 or 3 more games with Zion Williamson on the floor.
Yes.
That's the most disrespectful shit I've ever heard, G.
I told you, I never thought they
Fresh like I just got a contract. Fresh like I just got a max.
Boom! We back. We're here. It's Hoops and Brews. What's good? How are you doing? We're coming to you live like Craig Mack with that flavor in your ear. How you feeling? What's up, guys? How you doing today? How you doing? You alright? You very low key? You very low energy today?
Yeah.
Pavy's halfway hungover.
Nah, I just got a headache, but it's fine. It's all
both. A little bit of both. But it's Hoops and Brews. You know what it is. We are here. We are back. Luka, man. My son, he went out there and he sprained his ankle. We are gonna go in depth talking about that a little bit later
Side
on.
note, I think
because we got a doctor on the show today. There is a doctor in the house. Talk to him, Raj. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How's it going? So with Luka, should we just fire it up?
Go ahead.
All right. So here's the thing with Luka. Woj today said he has a moderate ankle sprain, talking about he has an inversion, meaning he rolled it inwards. And so typically with that, you don't see a player out for about 2 weeks. Typically, right? Okay. There was news that Luka was running on an underwater treadmill afterwards. That'd be funny. You know what that is?
Underwater treadmill.
Yeah. So basically, it just de-weights you.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you're running underwater, basically running underwater. It's a de-weighted treadmill. But that doesn't really tell us anything. The thing about an ankle sprain, we talked about this earlier, was that after you have an ankle sprain, the training staff comes, they look at how much swelling you got, how much pain you're in, and it's really not an inexact science. What people don't realize about medicine, a lot of that shit is like, it's gray area. So you're trying to, like, people want, like, oh, what's the answer?
Like, we don't know.
Like, I'm not sure. So it's kind of a day-by-day process. You can kind of tell, if it's mild or really severe, but when it's in the middle, it's more of a gray area. So they're going to go day by day with him, assess, and then see how he does. But on average, typically about 2 weeks, the biggest injury risk for him is re-injury.
Really?
So the key thing is if they bring him back too early, all the research shows if you come back too early, you're at like a much, much higher risk for re-injury.
Really?
So I know the Mavs, they have a really tough stretch coming up, right? This is like the worst time he got hurt. Their schedule gets really, really tough. And they're in the West, so it's a hard playoff race. So there might be that pressure. Luka wants to play. Cuban wants to make that playoff money.
He's also 20 years old. I mean, when I was 20, you could bounce back from a lot. Back from a lot of shit.
Yeah, but the thing, because even I was thinking, I didn't think the ankle injury I didn't think the sprain was that bad. I mean, you stepped on somebody's foot. I didn't think it was like everyone's like, oh my God, I'm like, he'll be fine in like a couple weeks. He'll be fine. But to like your point, I would assume that would make the ankle weaker. So if you don't let it heal up properly, now you step on somebody's foot again, it gets worse, and then it can become something chronic, and you don't want to have something becoming chronic. Now you just rolling your ankles consistently. For me, just basketball wise, I think it'd be good for the Mavericks. Honestly, I really do. I mean, even like the Heat.
You do good, though.
Nah.
Tweaking.
I mean, even like the Heat game, like when he went out, they was getting rolled, they was getting destroyed.
Yeah, they came back.
I checked it again. We in overtime. I was out, so I watched I want to say the final 2 minutes, and then a little bit of overtime. I think for one, it'll empower some other people to just do something.
Well, KP,
exactly.
He's having a hard time playing with Luka. He won't say it. Exactly. He's not used to playing off the ball. Exactly. He's been relegated to just playing that off the ball guy, right? That's all he is.
And I think that it'll help KP get into a rhythm. I think it'll help a guy like Jalen Brunson. I think that they can maybe find a secondary playmaker throughout this stretch. I mean, especially because again, I don't think the Mavericks are. I think they have a good basketball team, and I think injuries, as long as it's not something where somebody is decapitated, can be good. I think small minor injuries can be good because you learn to play in different ways. What happens if we get in the playoff series and I don't know, he rolled his ankle and he got to sit on the sidelines for a couple possessions. Or let's say he got to go to the bench. Now you've actually learned how to play without the man.
Right.
So I think that this stretch, again, they're going to make the playoffs. They're not going to lose 10 straight games and fall out the playoffs at this point. I think they'll make the playoffs. But I think it can be good for other guys to empower other guys because his usage rate is so high. He has the ball so much that sometimes people can become somewhat dependent upon him. So
absolutely.
It'll empower some other guys. And again, like you said with KP, I think KP's had a hard time adjusting. He'll probably get in a rhythm because they're gonna go to him 20, 30 times a game now. Whereas before you weren't the first option.
No, absolutely, I agree. It gets you into a rhythm knowing that you're gonna have the ball a lot, right?
Exactly.
Another example that's not Luka, but when Avery Bradley got hurt, KCP came in.
Yeah.
He before Bradley got hurt, KCP was playing, always thinking, "Oh, if I don't do this,
I'm gonna get
pulled out." But now he came in saying he can't pull me out, and no one else there, right?
Yeah.
And so he got into a rhythm, and he's been playing extremely well.
Yeah.
So that's to your point.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a different.
My least favorite player in the NBA to watch.
KCP.
Yeah.
like KCP.
Who else did I say I never want to watch play basketball again? It was somebody I said on one of the episodes. I never want to see it. I don't want to see that man play basketball.
But
Chris Dudley.
Like somebody said on Twitter to us, he gonna LeBron on some. He made the right basketball play type shit. Pass KCP that ball in the finals or in the Western Conference Finals or in the first, second round in a big game, and he gonna airball the fuck out of that shot.
KCP is OC
and
enough.
it's gonna be a wrap.
KCP is OC enough for me to actually believe that he'll hit it. But moving forward, back to he just
Kobe
OC.
got cleaned up and left the building,
irrational
G.
confidence.
I feel you.
I mean, yeah, but he at least took the shot. He shot the ball. He had the confidence to shoot the ball.
Look, it's a lot of
He
people.
could've had-
It's a lot of people that will take the shot. Quinn Cook took the shot.
He just missed anyway. But Zion. So Zion, there's been a lot of talk about Zion, but me even like pre-draft, I was like, yo, Zion got to lose some weight. It's a lot on his knees.
Keep the notes.
He'll probably end up, at some point in time, possibly dealing with some knee trouble. So Zion has a torn meniscus. Number one, what do you think that Zion's health regimen should be, and how do you think that Zion could best preserve his career, being his size and already having knee trouble so far?
Yeah, so one distinction, he has a torn lateral meniscus, outside part of his knee meniscus. That's different than the inside.
Okay.
So
can you explain what this?
Yeah. So on the outside, if he had the outside of his meniscus removed, we don't actually know what happened, because with the meniscus, right? It's like a piece of tissue that's in between your knee joint, helps absorb shock, helps reduce friction, all those
Can
things.
I ask a question? So
Sure.
I'm trying to visually see this in my head. So it's like the bones, right? And then so the meniscus is in the middle.
It's like
is?
it's like a dual crescent little shape in between like your thigh bone, your femur, and your tibia, your shin bone. So it sits in there. It absorbs force, right? With Zion, it's absorbing a lot of force. Right? So lateral meniscus, if he actually had it removed, there's like really high rates of arthritis moving forward. We don't know if he had it removed or not. Like for example, D Wade had his whole meniscus removed, which is like now it's considered like crazy.
Why would you do that?
Why would you remove
the fact he had a long career and played the way he played with no meniscus is actually wild.
Yeah, there's some parallel universe where he has the full one, and who knows what he did.
Yo, he's Michael Jordan.
Literally, who the fuck knows?
When did he get his meniscus taken out though?
In college.
That's wild.
He got it out. I think he got it. I think when they made that Final Four run, I think it's when he got it taken out and he came back and played the Final Four.
That is nuts.
Yeah, so he never had two good knees the entire time.
Okay, now in a situation like that, I mean, I'm not trying to get away from Zion, but just like a quick aside, like is that when you're for a guy like D Wade, is that just like bad medical advice, like on behalf of the people that are around him, or is that just like bad, like you know what I mean? That's like in that situation, like you just said, why would you do that? Like if you're 21 or whatever, why would you do that? Unless it's more one of them situations where it's just like it's probably the cheaper option. Or is that the like is that you know what I mean?
Well, first off, when he had it done,
2002.
Yeah. So the other alternative is called a meniscus repair.
Okay. Where
they like stitch it, but it's only available in certain tears.
Okay.
Because the meniscus, like there's only blood flow to certain areas.
Okay.
And tissue can't heal unless there's blood flow.
Okay.
So if it's in that called avascular, meaning there's no vascularity or blood supply, you have to remove it regardless. But in D Wade's case, from my understanding, they removed the entire thing.
Okay.
They removed like the whole piece. So imagine you have like 2 hamburgers and a slice of cheese. That's the meniscus. You take out the moldy piece of cheese. They took out the whole damn slice of cheese. And so it's like that's the thing.
That's wild.
Right. From my understanding, that's what happened.
No, they
took out the whole meniscus.
He played he made a career with no meniscus.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
With no meniscus.
To say who's at fault, it's hard to say because there's always battling forces, right? There's the medical side, who's going to be more conservative. There's a team side. Oh no, we need him. There's D-Wade saying I want to play or I want to make this run and solidify my draft slot.
Yeah,
I think it was just 2002, bro. We gotta remember, like that's 18 years ago. Like just think about how much we've learned about life and like think about what an ACL injury was in 2002 as opposed to what AC like they patch the shit up now. Damn near you good. Right. I think like the only way we can get into it later because I do want to get back to Zion, but I think we can have to discuss it later. I think the only injury that we haven't really fully figured out is the Achilles, and I think we're starting to kind of figure out the Achilles.
It's improving. Outcomes are improving.
It's improving.
It's still the hardest one. The reason why a tendon's difficult, especially with the Achilles, it's elastic, meaning like it's like a rubber band. You got to pull it, and then it has to recoil.
Oh, okay.
So you can't get a lot of that. It's hard to get that elasticity back.
Yeah.
Whereas with the ligament, it's just passive.
Yeah.
You repair it. It's not really. There's no elastic properties. That's the hard part about Achilles, to get that that spring back. The spring back is the hardest part.
But
Okay.
But back to Zion. So you say his lateral meniscus and not his
medial. Inner side. So inner side is much more common. Lateral side's a little. In basketball players, is about even. But if they take the lateral meniscus out, there's much higher rate of arthritis. So the fact that when they first announced his timetable, like 6 weeks, I thought they had just removed it. Like take whatever the piece was, they had removed it. And so I was like, oh shit, like that's a bad sign for him moving forward because he already has all these risk factors. But now that he's taking longer, I think that they might have just underestimated how long a repair takes. But I don't know. Again.
Or do you think they're just being hyper precautious with him?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They should be, right?
Personally, I think it's two things. I think for one, he has to lose weight.
Yeah,
think like
100%.
you gotta think like if he's hurt and you have to you can't lose weight while rehabbing. It's not like he broke a wrist or did something to his arm or the shoulder, so he can't like run and jog and stay conditioned. So they was already talking.
What was he before even?
That too, like was he even in actual shape to play real legit NBA? Like we gotta think out of what Zion's played.
He was still averaging 27.
But listen, though, Zion has played 5 NBA games. The 2 of them he got hurt.
Exactly.
So the 2 of them he got hurt. So
I did a video on
better
Zion
than LeBron
stuff on my YouTube, and so it was all about his movement patterns and the way he plays. He plays just really explosive style, right? With the way he moves. We compare him to DRose. The biggest thing I saw with Zion, I said this since his high school days, he lands single leg knee straight. That's like the worst way to land.
Yeah.
Okay. He does. He lands wrong.
He lands way too often. He lands single leg knee straight.
Bro, remember that block in college he had? When he blocked it, like the way he landed, I was like, why would you stop, bro?
Yeah, exactly. Like Ja Morant lands.
He has
some crazy landings.
Worst landings ever, bro.
I honestly,
I don't like watching it.
Bro, Ja has been
scary.
The one he had against Houston, I'm like, I thought he hit himself in. Like, bro, he has been searching for a poster, and now he finally got one on Aaron Baines, but he landed terribly again.
That was chill, yeah.
He did, but I'm like, calm down, bro. Like somebody just sit Ja down and talk to him. Stop, bro. But continue about Zion.
I agree. I agree with Ja to that point exactly. And so the guy I compare them to, in terms of landing, is I remember how Blake Griffin used to be, trying to always jump over everybody, crazy ass landings. He got hurt he got hurt multiple times. But then he learned you gotta figure out when to use your athleticism.
Yeah.
People think if I'm in fifth gear all the time, I'm a good player. You don't need to always be in fifth, right? It's about going from first to third to fifth, back to third, back to fifth, right? So you got to understand when to use your athleticism. And unfortunately, some guys learn it the hard way.
I agree.
Hopefully, Ja don't like that the dunk you talked about, where his knee bent the wrong way.
What?
I don't know what the hell.
I don't know. And also he's already been hurt. I think he has back. He's had some back problems already, which is not good.
Yeah, and he's a slight dude.
Exactly. He doesn't have that much of a frame on it yet. So for Zion, so obviously
not
Zion,
a slight dude.
Yeah. So it's not a slight dude. So obviously Zion has the meniscus. Honestly, I personally think he's not coming back this year. In my own opinion, I don't think it makes sense for him to come back this year. One, because again, you have to rehab the knee. Then you also have to get in shape. He's not in you're not in shape. So what do you think for him? His best optimal playing weight would be? Allegedly, he's 285. Probably heavier than that at this point. What do you think his optimal playing weight would be for Zion, knowing that he's probably going to deal with some type of knee issues for the rest of his career?
Yeah. So I would say typically what we've seen, there's a study I saw recently. Players who have over a BMI, I don't know what BMI is, body mass index. It's not the best stat. It's not that best number because it's not really. It's biased towards non-athletes who need to be a different build.
Okay.
But it was BMI over 28. Players have a 50% higher risk for meniscus injury. So weight plays a big part.
Yeah.
I can't really say what his ideal weight is because he's also a pretty muscular dude, right? And so, but there's a risk reward with dudes like that. One is, how did he get to that point? You can be built, LeBron is built, but he earned it in the weight room, right? He grinded it out. Zion probably did too, But at some point,
he been looking like this since
I
he
used
was
to think
14.
Zion.
or maybe he didn't.
I'm just saying he didn't look the same to me since he was 14. I'm not gonna lie.
That's fair.
He literally looked like the same human being to me since he's 14. He just got a little fatter.
That's fair. I mean, he's gotten bigger. Even Coach K said when he got hurt, like he shouldn't have been playing in summer league. He wasn't ready for it.
Really? Okay.
As Coach K said that when I was looking it up. So Coach K probably either he got some inside information or he talked to Zion. I think after they got eliminated in the March Madness, he didn't really work on his body, right? And we saw that when he came for summer league.
Yeah.
He didn't look in great shape. He looked the opposite.
Also, what do you think about the way he walks? Because I mean, the way he even walks is kind of weird.
Yeah, so I've seen people talk about how the way he walks. It doesn't translate to how he runs.
Yeah.
So walking away, this is a pattern sometimes, right? People have a certain habit.
Yeah.
You might have, you might have picked up certain habits. But then I checked that out. I looked at the way he runs in games. He's a pretty fluid mover. He moves fluidly. He doesn't have like we call it knee valgus, where the knees are cock-kneed. That's how he walks, but it's not how he runs.
Okay.
It's not even how he really lands that much.
Okay.
So the biggest thing with him with his landing was just he lands one leg, straight leg. I didn't really see that much what we call his knees diving in. It's called knee valgus, which puts a lot of pressure on the inside of your knee joint. I didn't see much of that when I examined his video, although I don't have all the videos, so I can't say that I know it for sure. That's just what I didn't pick that up.
Okay. Cool.
So do you think a guy like him? This is not. What do you think a shelf life on a player like him can be with that weight, with potential, meniscus problems?
He has to lose weight. There's no doubt about it. He's putting too much stress through his body. Then you multiply that by how high he's jumping, right? And the way that he plays. Yeah, he's coming down. So maybe if you have a dude who's playing low to the ground, you get away with it.
Yeah, like Zebo. He has a Zebo type body.
Zebo wasn't that big, and also Zebo's 6'9", 6'10". Zion's 6'6".
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's true, exactly.
No, Zebo was that big, bro.
But
I feel like Zebo.
maybe
was.
at some point.
but Zebo is again 6'10".
Yeah, true.
Zion's 6'6". That's 4 extra inches for the weight too.
Yeah, weight distribution.
Right? Yeah. So there's no doubt he's got to lose it. I don't know. David Griffin came out and said it's not about the weight. It's not about the weight.
It is.
He's trying to massage it. He's trying to massage it a little bit, right? It's like that prize cow. You don't want to disturb it, but you just want to kind of massage him. And that's what David Griffin's doing. So he's going to lose weight. Hopefully he's going to lose weight. I wouldn't be surprised like yourself if he misses the whole season.
Yeah.
First off, what are they playing for? They lost.
Well, now they're not playing for anything. I honestly thought if he was healthy, they would have made the playoffs.
No, because I never thought they
look at the NBA right now, bro.
But
their problem is defensively.
Yeah, but him being there changes things all around.
But listen to me, there was no part of me that thought he was gonna play 82 games.
It's not about him playing 82 games. He's not played any games.
I didn't think he was gonna play that many to begin with.
You didn't think he was gonna play no games? Stop, bro.
Bro, listen.
Even at worst, he played 54 games. And that's 54 fucking games.
They're not making the play. I told you. They were gonna lose 20 games.
I can't honor that, fam.
I can't rock with making the playoffs.
I can't rock with that.
I told you they was gonna lose 20 games to them being young, to them being a very, very young.
Okay, but also you're missing the guy that was the number 1 overall draft.
It doesn't matter, bro.
What do you mean? How can you say that with a straight face?
He's still young.
How can you say that with a straight face after you saw what he did in preseason?
He's still young. He can't shoot. They weren't gonna do that all year. They were gonna eventually, for one, it's
like I said, he averaged 20 and 7. What's the old?
Listen, bro. For one, it's preseason. Nobody's touching you at the rim. They're not gonna let you run in there and dunk on people. No, they gonna put you on the floor sometimes. No, defenses also will get some tape on you and actually scheme for you. Ain't nobody scheming in the damn preseason.
Brandon Ingram out there playing like a damn near all-star.
Brandon Ingram is a better basketball player right now than Zion Williamson.
Okay, I'm fine with
he
that.
Can also shoot
That's
ball.
why I said they could have made the playoffs.
But listen,
it don't matter.
But listen, I
don't give a fuck about if he can shoot.
But listen, bro, you would have had to reconstruct the roster basically. For one, because listen, if you need shooting. If they were gonna start Lonzo Ball, Drew Holiday, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Derek Favors, who's shooting the ball? That's not a good starting 5.
JJ Redick don't exist. Lonzo Ball ain't even starting right now.
But bro, he was starting to start the season, so you would have had to reconstruct. And also, he lost his starting job to injury. On top of that, he didn't lose it just to lose it. He lost it really because of injury.
No, he lost it because he lost it.
And because of injury.
I've seen him play in person. I've seen him play in person. He lost it because he lost it. Lonzo lost his starting role because Lonzo lost that. I don't want to hear that injury shit.
Also because injury.
Nah. Because like we've been saying about Lonzo from the start. You can hoop, and guess what? He ain't been hooping.
Yes, but the thing about it is he got hurt. The offense flowed better, and then you come back and you also not in a rhythm, and now you starting off with a bitch. All right, yeah, just keep.
You don't think Zion being there helps nobody, huh? It helps nobody else on the team. Nothing changes with Zion Williamson on the floor. What the
They
fuck?
win maybe 2
what
or 3
the
more
fuck
games.
is wrong with you?
They win maybe 2 or 3 more
What
games.
the fuck
I
is
never
wrong
thought
with
they
you,
were gonna be
G?
good. We had this.
They win 2 or 3 more games with
Yes.
Zion Williamson on the floor.
Yes.
That's the
3 or
most
5 more
disrespectful
games.
shit I've ever
3 or
heard,
5
G.
more. I told you, I never
What
thought they
the
were making the
fuck, man?
playoffs.
Alright, bro.
I don't think they have a good team.
Man, averaging 27 and what, 9 in the
He's not
preseason,
gonna
G?
average 27.
Even
and
if he
9
averaged
in the
20 and
regular
fucking 9, they can use it. What are you talking about?
But you gonna have to.
What are you talking about? They can't use 20 points?
Yes, sure.
They can't use 20 points.
They're still
Dead
gonna
ass.
lose.
They can't use a block a game.
They're still
They
gonna
can't
lose.
use a steal a game.
They're still gonna
They
lose.
can't use a steal a game.
They're still
They
gonna
can't
lose.
use 3 more assists a game.
They're still gonna
What the
lose.
fuck are you talking
They're
about?
still gonna lose. I never thought, bro. We had this discussion before the season.
Bro,
you said Mavericks and Pelicans
y'all
making the
talking. What
playoffs.
the fuck are you
I said the
talking
Pelicans.
about? Get the
Did you
fuck
think
outta
the
here.
Pelicans were making the
You
playoffs?
told me the Mavericks were gonna make
I never
the
did.
playoffs.
I was wrong
Fuck
about
outta
that.
here.
I never did.
What?
I never let her make the playoffs.
And I told you they would. And look what they fucking doing.
No, I'm talking about the Pelicans. The Mavericks, okay,
Get
you were
the
right. I'm
fuck
talking about
outta
the
here.
Pelicans. I never thought the Pelicans
Get the
were gonna make the
fuck outta
playoffs.
here,
Reason
bro.
being, I just thought they would lose some
Honestly,
games
bro.
to being young. And also, I had questions about health. And I thought they would again lose some games to being young, which is what you see a lot. A lot of times they lose games, even like the Lakers game.
Well, I've seen all the young guys, right? And I see what happens down the stretch with them.
They just lose games.
They lose games. They
even
do.
like the Bulls.
But their problem,
they lose games because they're young.
It's a whole ass #1 pick not playing.
What?
I think it would change. I think it would
is
change
wrong
some of
with
the
you?
culture as well. But
The
I
hell is wrong
don't know if it would
with you, bro?
change the execution. down the
No,
stretch.
it's not gonna change.
What? How does that make sense?
He's still 19 years old. He
So
got fucking
what? Luka's 20 years old after the fucking triple
Luka
double
has
damn
been a
near.
professional basketball player
I
for
don't
5
give
years, G.
a fuck.
Like Luka does.
G, Zion couldn't have been he couldn't have been a professional 2 years ago. Zion could have went pro when he was 17. Lie to me. Sit here and fucking lie to me.
Do you think that they would be better?
Stop that shit,
would
man.
Be better defensively with Zion on the floor?
Yes, they would be better with him on the floor.
Enough.
Who do they have that can block shots?
No,
Derek
I'm
Favors.
asking.
No,
I'm
Derek
just asking.
Favors. Rest in peace to his mom. His mom passed away,
Right,
so
right.
he literally took time away from basketball and said, "I had to get away from basketball." His mom passed away. Like, who else they got down there that's gonna block shots? Jackson Hayes wouldn't be playing the amount of minutes he playing right now
Yes, he would.
if Zion Williamson was on the floor. No,
Yes,
he would not.
Yes, he would.
He
He
would
still
not
would.
be playing
They
as
don't play
many
the same
minutes
position.
as he would
They
be
don't play the
playing
same
right now
position. Yes, he
if
would.
Zion was on
Yes,
the
he
floor.
would.
No,
Yes,
they
he
would
would.
not.
If Derek
Because you
Favors
would
is
even
not
see a
there-
ton of other small lineups out there if Zion was on the floor. You can't even run a small lineup you want to run because Zion ain't on the goddamn floor. What are you talking about?
They not
Gee,
gonna-
at the worst, even if he giving me 17 and 8, you telling me 17 and 8 can't help?
They still
That
gonna
don't
lose
make
a lot of
sense,
games. They not
G.
gonna, it's not gonna help enough to put
Get
you in the
the
playoffs.
fuck outta here,
It's
man.
not gonna help enough to put you in the playoffs.
Get the
Like,
fuck
no.
out of here.
They not gonna
Ain't
make
nobody
the
in the
playoffs.
West good. The
What?
top 5 motherfuckers is good,
What?
and everybody else is poo poo.
What?
The top
The
5
Suns
teams
ain't
in the
good?
West are good.
The Suns
Everybody
ain't
else
good?
is poo poo.
The Jazz ain't good.
No.
Okay.
No.
They don't-
The top
hey.
5 teams in the West are good. Everybody else is shit.
They're
Yeah.
better than New Orleans.
What are you talking about? Half the Western Conference isn't
Listen.
fucking below 500.
Even if listen, bro.
What
even
are you
if-
talking
G,
about?
Even if
Come
Zion's on the
on,
court,
man.
they're not better than the Timberwolves.
What? Alright, bro.
They're not.
Alright, bro.
They're not.
Alright, bro.
They're not.
Y'all talk. I'm
Like,
going on the balcony.
It's
Fuck
no
that.
like, bro. It's
Get
no
the fuck
disrespect
outta
at all.
Get the fuck
But just
outta
like
here.
I didn't think this was a playoff team.
I didn't think so either.
They didn't think it was a playoff team.
They would be better with
Better,
Zion.
yeah.
Would it be enough for the playoffs?
I don't know.
That's
I
the
don't
question.
think that.
That's the question.
Again, I think when you depend upon a lot of guys who are under 25, under 24 years old, not gonna, you have some slight like Luka, but that happens.
That's an outlier.
That happens
You see
once every
that.
15 years.
That's
Like
not-
literally once every 15 years. And also they have a team of veterans around Luka. They just like Luka and a whole bunch of rookies. When you look at the Pelicans, really, what veterans you got? Drew Holiday?
No, it's true. I mean,
Everybody else you depend on still on their rookie deal for the most part.
I mean, if you look at, I think I read the stat, Pelicans in the last 5 minutes have the worst net rating of any team in the league. So they're in games for 40, 41 minutes, but then they break up. And I've seen this. This is the same thing that happened with the Lakers with these same guys,
Yeah.
right? So I'm very familiar with it. And so the question, I mean, they might have got maybe plus 5, 6 games with Zion. Is that enough to win? I think the biggest thing that would help with a guy with like Zion is with these young teams, when you start losing 5, 6, 7 games, it's easy that turns into 11, 12,
yeah,
13.
12, yeah.
But if you have a guy like Zion who can help you just get one and break that pattern,
Yeah.
that might be able to help
Yeah.
more so than, and we're seeing it right now, right? Like with New Orleans, they're what, 11 in a row they lost or 12?
They've lost a lot
They
of
lost
games
in
in a
Philly.
row.
They just lost in Philly.
Days in a row.
I think it was 11.
They've lost a lot of games in a row.
with Zion on the floor. Fuck out of here. Come on, man.
They'll lose 7.
Come on, man.
They'll lose 7.
Get the fuck out of here.
They'll lose 7.
How do you sit there with a straight ass
They'll
face
lose 7.
and shit in front of the whole world?
They'll lose 7.
How do you sit here with a straight face and say
Easy.
shit in front of the whole world?
Easy. I didn't think they like, bro.
You a hater.
Bro, would they have
Goddamn
G?
hater.
Would they have
You a
6
goddamn
wins?
hater.
No, they have 10.
You a hater, G.
How? I told you before the season, I didn't think this was a playoff team.
I told you before the season you was a goddamn hater.
I think you're underestimating. I think you might be overestimating. I think
It's not about
the truth is
overestimating.
no. The
11
truth.
losses in a
I got
row,
you.
G.
I said the truth is somewhere in the middle. I think you're underestimating it.
Somewhere in the middle, they in the playoff hunt.
No, they not,
Gee,
bro.
what are you talking about?
not.
Do you see the NBA
they
standings,
not,
bro? What are you
G.
talking about?
How many wins do you need in the West to be in the playoffs?
This
I
year,
think-
40.
What do you think?
This year, you need 42 wins to get in the playoffs.
What's the 8 seed at right now? I'm just
Come
wondering.
on,
8
man.
seed is 11 and 14.
Right now?
Yeah.
Exactly, bro. Trash. Those top 5s in the team, top 5 West teams are good. The rest of them motherfuckers are poo-poo.
Top 6, top
They're
6, top
poo-poo.
6, top 6,
They're
top
all
6.
poo-poo. The
Top
Jazz
6,
are
top
poo-poo.
6,
Who
top
is
6, top 6.
Lakers.
Yeah.
That's more of that than one.
Lakers, Clippers, Mavericks, Nuggets, Rockets, Jazz.
What you on, bro? Get off there with that
If
man.
we're ranging out, like Lakers, Clippers, obviously, right? Nuggets are
Yeah.
there. Who else is in there? Sorry.
Mavericks.
I don't pin. Okay.
Mavericks.
Mavs,
Nuggets, Rockets, Jazz.
Mavs are better.
Then
You
every
gotta put Jazz. It has to be top 6.
I'm not
Then
doing
from-
six. I said the Jazz weren't gonna make the playoffs
Look-
before that.
literally
And then
drop-
everybody got injured.
But just look at the drop off after the Jazz. We had the Kings, Suns, Thunder, T-Wolves, Spurs. That's a big drop off. I was
They would
gonna
have
say
10
top
wins.
6. Maybe top 5, then a 6.
Is
and
that
then
not in the
everyone
playoff
else.
hunt?
But listen, I think they were making the playoffs regardless. That's what I'm saying. I didn't think, like, bro, they could be in the hunt. They're not making it.
In the hunt though.
They're not making it. Okay, yeah, it could be
In the
like
hunt?
11 seed.
All right.
11 seed,
The
yeah.
number 1 overall pick. The guy that people say 10 ain't gonna be. The guy I said could be as good as Michael Jordan.
You said
He
that.
gonna
I
come
didn't
in.
say that.
He
You
wasn't
said-
gonna have no. I wasn't the only
You
one.
said that.
I wasn't the only
never
goddamn
said
one.
that.
I wasn't the only
I never
goddamn
said
one.
that.
Come on, G. Stop
I had
that,
questions
man.
from the beginning.
All right,
But again,
bro. All right,
no,
bro.
I think they'd be like 11.
Zion would have brought
11
no
seed.
value. That's what you telling me.
No, it's not.
Yes, that is
I
what
just
you
said
telling
not
me. You
enough to
telling
put
me
you in
he
the
would have brought you
playoffs.
no value.
Not enough to put you in the playoffs.
You sit up here. Come on. You say he wouldn't have made a difference. Come on.
That's
man.
not what I said. I said he would have made like.
Not
You
enough
said-
of a difference.
Exactly, not enough to make the playoffs. I never said he would have made a
I don't know
difference.
if I- I don't know if I
I said not
know.
enough
I
to
don't
make
know
the
if I-
playoffs.
Alright, bro.
Reason being because you're depending upon a lot of guys.
17-7.
You're depending
wouldn't matter. Come on,
upon.
man.
Listen, you're depending upon a lot of guys who are just young, and then like we talked about, like you said, what their last in net rate in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like when you get in crunch time and you have young teams, this is what happens. The basketball IQ just isn't there yet. Even you see it with the Bulls. You can be engaged, but you got to win them. I said they
You
would
told
lose.
me before this season, Zion Williamson was arguably a top 50 player in the list. In the
Okay.
league. He was on your top 50 list in the league.
Yeah.
You missing a top 50 player. You telling me, that's what I'm saying.
Listen to
you
what I
telling
said.
me,
Listen to me.
No.
Listen to
Listen
me.
to yourself. You're telling me a top 50 player not going to make that much. Yeah, he go cool, but he's not going to make that much of a difference.
Listen to what
How
I'm
does that
saying.
make sense
I
when a
said
top
they would-
50 player
listen
is
to
the
what I'm
number one
saying,
guy?
bro. I said
you
they
didn't
would
even have
lose.
Ingram on that
Listen,
list.
I said they would lose like 20 games because they were young.
And he is not there. So
and they
what
would
you
still
said,
lose a lot of games
Come on,
because they're
alright.
young.
Alright,
they
bro.
would be in the game and they would lose. Yeah, he make a
It's
difference.
not-
He
come
get
on,
them like
man.
3 to 4 to 5 more wins. That's it.
3 to 4 to 5 more wins is different between being last and being in the playoffs.
Okay,
so what
but look,
are you
they're
talking
not
about?
But listen, I never thought they were making the playoffs. 11th seed, 10th seed, okay. Playoffs, I never thought
You
that.
show me one team in the West, like I said, after 5, that's a bona fide playoff spot,
The
and
Jazz.
you're lying.
The Jazz.
Nobody
The Jazz.
after 5 is
The
a bona
Jazz,
fide
G.
playoff
Put this-
team.
get up- the Jazz.
Nobody after 5.
The
No,
Jazz.
no.
They're 15 and 11. They're gonna make the playoffs.
And like I've been telling y'all about the Jazz all year long as well. The Jazz are one injury away from being not in the playoffs as well. Even Mike Conley ain't been playing for whatever reason. He ain't been playing.
Exactly. A lot of teams are like that.
But it's not just a lot of teams that are like that because they're not built with the depth enough to
they're
get
more
beyond
reliant.
that.
They're more
They
reliant.
can't get beyond that. You can go without Mike Conley because y'all played without Mike Conley last year. But if Donovan Mitchell, one of them other key guys, get hurt, you're not gonna get there. That's what I'm saying. It's not about me wishing injury on nobody.
That's most
they
teams,
ain't not
though,
deep
bro.
enough. That's not most teams,
though, bro. Like,
no,
okay,
it's not.
like for instance, Jokic get hurt on the Nuggets. They making the playoffs?
I've been telling you all year long the Nuggets didn't look good.
I'm just saying, like,
Have I
Jokic
not
get-
been telling you all year
listen
long
up,
the Nuggets didn't look good?
Listen up. Jokic get hurt.
We're talking about weight.
Jokic get hurt. They making the playoffs?
Yes, they can. In this West with that team,
It's
Paul
gonna be
Millsap's
tough.
still on that team.
It's gonna be tough, G.
It's not gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough, G.
You just
It's
told
gonna
me
be
the
tough.
AC got
It's
10
gonna be
wins
tough.
right
It's
now.
gonna
How
be
many
tough.
wins they got right
It's
now?
gonna be what, 16?
That mean they 6 wins up on the AC. They not gonna make the playoffs without Jokic.
It's gonna be tough.
Not the whole year, but if he go out for a month, they not
A month? No. We talking no, but look, you talking about Donovan going out for extended time.
2 months. Still, 2 months they gonna make the playoffs.
That's
what
tough,
are you talking
bro.
about?
That's tough, bro.
Come on, man.
That's tough, bro.
Come on, man.
That's tough, G.
Jokic,
That's tough,
That's
bro.
not that tough, bro.
That's tough, G.
Everybody else get more shots.
It's tough with Denver though because their offense relies on
Jokic so much, bro.
They put him in the high post, and he runs the whole offense.
And I think that's their biggest Achilles heel, and that's why I don't believe in them.
That's fair.
That's fair.
It's even
That's
worse.
fair.
It's even
fair.
worse.
So the same thing you said, even in that time, I think they can learn something and they can get better.
And
but
honestly,
I don't think that they falling out the playoffs.
Even a healthy Jokic, if he's not in shape, like he is not in shape right now. He's huffing and puffing. Mike Malone came out yesterday and said, "I don't recognize this Jokic."
Oh, what? He did? He said that?
Yeah, he's like, I don't know. I'm not sure what happened to Jokic.
Okay,
This
so
dude's in
moving on
terrible
from this whole Zion rant, injury, whatever we talked about.
All right.
Let's talk about Jokic actually, because I've seen him in person this year, and I even told Pavy, he looks pudgy to me.
Yeah,
It's not like and I don't, and because I got to see all these guys, I never really I don't be trying to disrespect any of these guys.
Oh, it's not disrespect. It's just-
I mean, jokes are jokes sometimes, but Jokic just looked fat, to be quite honest. And I was like, yo, I didn't think, like, I knew you looked big on TV, but I'm seeing you in person, and you're very tall and you're big. Like when I saw Giannis, and I say this all the time, like, I literally walked into the locker room and Giannis was on the floor, like, stretching out, and I'm like, yo, this motherfucker is the hugest human being that I've seen in terms of just like how tall and long his body was, because even you got to consider like his arms and stuff, and even seeing like 7-footers like Zubac and stuff, those guys don't look like large human beings to me. Like even Zubac looks tall, but he don't look like a large human being. Like I saw Giannis, I was like, yo, this motherfucker's a beast. Like he was laying on the floor strapped, like, yo, this dude, like I couldn't imagine. Oh man, I'm getting the hell out of the way. He coming down the lane. That's how I felt when I saw Jokic. I was like, he looked like Escalade from N1. You know what I'm talking about? He looked like Escalade from N1. I'm like, yo, Jokic, what's going on, G? Like, you the one destroying everybody? And then you see this year, he ain't been destroying everybody. He don't look good.
He
looked like he looked like he peaked. He got happy with peaking, and that's it. Yeah. He got his contract, he peaked, he top 5 MVP voted, he proved himself. And now that he's proven himself, that's it. Because I'm not seeing nothing from it.
I just think
we can say what we want to real quick before I let y'all say it. We can say what we want to say about Embiid. Embiid has continuously said, I'm not in the best shape and I'm working to get in better shape. I don't feel like I've ever heard Jokic say like I'm working to get my body in better shape or I'm working on myself or whatever. If your coach got to call you out about your weight and you the star of the team, you can't be out there looking like Sean Kemp and Escalade. Gee, I'm sorry. It's unacceptable, but go ahead.
I also think a lot of what's wrong with the Nuggets is they still just don't have a go-to guy. And I think that, and I think that last year was dope, but you got to realize that now they got like 120-something games of tape on you. So you can't just do the same things you did last year and think you're going to get away with that. And I think nobody really on that team is taking, it's not just Jokic. You paid Jamal Murray $170 million, he put up the same numbers. It ain't like just like nobody. Gary Harris never took a step.
Yeah, exactly.
Like nobody on that team is taking a step, and they still don't have a number one bona fide go-to scorer. I think that's their main issue from the wing spot. I like their guards, but I think from the wing, which is why I thought that Michael Porter Jr. would be so helpful for this team. They barely play the man, but they need a guy from that wing spot we can throw the ball to and get a bucket, and they just don't have that. And I think that's really what the real issue is. It's like you see people got tape on you now. They know what you're gonna do. You've been running these same actions for 390 days now. We know what you're gonna do. We got tape on it, and they don't have nobody that can just knock down, drag out, get a bucket, and nobody improved. It ain't just Jokic. Nobody has improved.
I agree. So I think go-to scorer. And if you watch Jokic, like he's huffing and puffing. If you run him, like when Lakers played in Denver, we were just running him, and he was dying. he was dying, and that's when I was like, yo, he is in terrible shape. And the other thing people don't understand, when you play at altitude, you got to be in even better shape. Yeah. There's less oxygen for you to play with. Yeah. So if you in shitty shape, now it's magnified, right? So that's the other little detail. So Jokic is in the wrong spot to be out of shape, at the worst spot in the league. And that's your point. And they're playing at the slowest pace now in the league, I believe.
Yeah, and they're also 5-5 in their last 10 games, which is actually the worst of any top 8 team in the West, other than the Jazz, Kings, and Suns, which are, like I said, 6 through 8. Remember what I said? Top 5, rest,
And they're locked in, like you said, with Murray. They have Jokic big contract. From what I understand, they're trying to trade Malik Beasley.
Yeah, because they wanted to give him 3 years, $30 million. He was like, "Fuck out of here! I'm not taking 3 years, $30 million."
They're at the point now with those 2 big contracts. They have to underpay guys.
That's also,
and they have the Millsap contract.
That's also the thing is they don't even want to.
It's movable.
That's also the thing is they don't even want to play Malik Beasley because if you play him, he's gonna outplay.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, that's like I mean I remember even when Nerlens Noel turned down that contract from Dallas and they got railroaded the rest of the season. Niggas like didn't play him. Like, yeah, we're not gonna even give you the chance to outplay the $60 million that we gave you. So it's gonna sit you on the bench and see how this goes.
Poor decision. What did you get from OKC this past year? 2 for 10, something like that.
No, I think it was 2 for 10.
I don't even know. It was low.
Yeah, it was low.
It wasn't that. I don't even know what it was, to be honest with you. It wasn't that 60. That's all I got.
But
same thing with KCP in Detroit. You turned down.
Well.
I mean, that was smart. He had Rich
yeah.
Paul in his corner. Yeah,
that's fair. Well, he got
Rich Paul is. I mean, like KCP is getting like $10 million per year.
That's true. And to be in LA, not
Rich Paul is like Lex.
I might sacrifice
right
$10 million to not play in Detroit and play.
Yeah. Why not?
I'm sure Blake would too. Blake was hurt. Actually, speaking of Blake was hurt. Blake Griffin. What are your last night? Well, actually not last night, but in general, when they played the Rockets and they lost and they beat the Rockets, Blake played the first half.
Yeah.
Second half he didn't play due to knee soreness. This is going to sound funny, but we have a running joke about like Blake's knee injuries.
Are you taking time?
I am because he always says like Blake. I mean, we can both, but he always says like Blake was hurt. Like every time I bring up like Chris Paul's failure as a Clipper, he always says Blake was hurt. Blake was hurt. I'm like, yeah.
Well, Chris was hurt too.
Exactly. But what are your thoughts on his knee? Do you think that? I mean, honestly. Does he have? These are the same issues that I kind of feel like Zion Williamson has. I think Blake is a little bit taller, but I think that they both. I think that Blake has had chronic knee issues, but he's also one of those guys that's historically known as being a high jumper, a hard dunker, same type of hard momentum, mover. All of that. You know what I mean?
Jarring movement,
yeah, I mean, although he's evolved his game and kind of stepped out more, he's hurt. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so the problem becomes with these knee injuries, right? Sometimes they manifest when you're older.
Yeah.
Right? So like when you're young and you're playing and it's all good, and everyone's like, oh, I'm not in pain, so I'm gonna just leave it the way I am. But when it gets 7-8 years down the line, it's like almost too late.
Yeah.
Because that shit's been building for a long time. And that's why like a guy like when I think about like longevity, I think about LeBron. He took care of himself from day one.
Yeah.
He's been taking care of himself every day since. If you watch his interviews during high school, like he has more maturity than like 10-year vets in the NBA. He's talking about his body. He talks about I gotta work every day on my body, and that's how his mentality's been. So with guys like Blake, I think we talked about it. I don't know if you were here. Like when he came in the league, he was just doing crazy shit, trying to dunk on everybody, falling all over the place. So that type of stuff manifests now. Yeah. And it's at the point now where you kind of have to, load manage him a little bit.
And allegedly, he said it, but he said he tore his meniscus like last season. Remember the playoff run he had?
Oh, did he? I don't know.
Yeah, meniscus surgery. Yeah, meniscus surgery.
I think so. And then he had a hamstring injury.
Yeah, hamstring injury, which obviously is connected.
It's all related.
I'm at a place where I thought Blake was going to be a surefire Hall of Famer. I don't know anymore.
That's a lie.
I don't know.
That's a lie. You're telling me Draymond Green's a Hall of Famer. Blake Griffin's not a Hall of Famer?
Draymond's
is
more
Chris Paul a Hall of
accomplished
Famer?
Yeah.
Then Blake Griffin's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but Chris Paul is more accomplished than Blake.
Draymond Green is not more accomplished than Blake. No, he's not.
Defensive player.
Take away. Come on, man.
College basketball.
Come on, man. Stop that, bro.
It's hard to overcome those accomplishments. A championship accomplishment, they go a long way.
Stop, bro. Stop. Draymond is a 3-time All-Star, bro.
Defensive player of the year, 3-time champion, Final Four. I think he was the most outstanding player in the Final Four. Like his basketball resume. Does he have a
Blake, 6-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA second team, 2-time All-NBA third team, Rookie of the Year, All-NBA first team, dunk contest champion, National College Player of the Year, consensus All-American first team, Big 12 Player of the Year. His jersey is retired at Oklahoma. McDonald's All-American. Stop it, bro. Stop it. If Draymond Green getting in that goddamn Hall of Fame, Blake Griffin better be in there on a first-class goddamn ticket.
When you say
3 championships,
when you say the college player, like most outstanding college player,
the Hall Hall of Fame is for
your whole basketball.
It's not just NBA, right? So people don't realize.
Draymond accomplishments ain't that hard though.
Yes, they are.
They're not.
Stop this.
They're really not
Yes,
though. They're not.
Bro.
It's not me disrespecting him.
Yes,
I even said when you told me a year ago, 2 years ago, like yo, Draymond on his last legs, he got like 1 year left of being good, 1 year left of being an all-star. I'm like, well, if he got 1 year left of being good, he's not gonna be a Hall of Famer. I've been saying this. I've been saying this. When we was in the middle of the run, I've been saying this, bro. He gotta keep going. He gotta keep going. He only had like 6 years. If he don't even have 5,000 points yet, bro. He don't have 5,000 rebounds. He don't have, I think, 4,000 assists yet, bro.
I feel you, but look, bro, it's people in the Hall of Fame with worse resumes than Blake. I mean, not Blake.
That's a lie. That's a lie. I bet they all got 5,000 points.
But do they have 3 rings in defensive player?
Stop talking to me about the rings, G.
But that's a big
you tell me rings are a team accomplishment all the time. So stop talking to me about rings.
But when someone looks at the resume,
they help Hall of Fame
with 3 All-Star appearances. How many Hall of Famers got 3 All-Star appearances?
I don't know.
It's a travesty, G.
Probably like Ginobili got 3 All-Star appearances.
Ginobili's different.
I'm just saying.
Ginobili's different.
I'm just saying.
Ginobili is different. I will say this. No. This is the only reason why I would say Ginobili is different. Ginobili is different because Ginobili is a 6 man. Also, he was playing in the air. He was playing in a shooting guard dominant era.
In the West?
Yes, he was. Kobe. What do you mean? He wasn't playing in a shooting guard dominated era. Yes, he was.
In the West?
Yes, he was.
You had Kobe, Ray Allen.
You had shooting guards in the West.
Kobe, Ray Allen.
What do you mean, Kobe, Ray Allen?
Okay, but T-Mac, Kobe,
you
Ray
had
Allen, T-Mac.
You had other guys in there. Michael Finley was still decent in the way he was in the West too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but not when Manu hit his peak. Finley was no.
He wasn't complete at that point. No, he wasn't.
And wasn't Finley on the Spurs then?
No, he was on the Mavericks.
Tail end.
He was a tail end. He was on the Mavericks though. Before he was good as a Maverick though.
I feel you, but I'm talking about when Ginobili hit his peak. That was like early 2000. Like Ginobili hit his peak like 07, 08.
Late 2000s.
Yeah, late 2000s. Ginobili wasn't hard. Like he was nice, but he wasn't hard in like the early 2000s.
Ginobili was also a 6 man, and still got probably. Actually, let's look up what is Manu Ginobili.
Ginobili international.
I'm sure
I don't even care about the international. His NBA career is better.
Separates it.
His NBA career is better. He even got more rings than Draymond.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
I mean, you just said 3 times.
He only has two. He only has 2 All-Stars.
That's what I'm saying.
He does.
You asked me to answer your question.
Yes, but guess what? Ginobili got 4,000. I'm sorry, he got 14,000 points, 4,000 assists. 4,000 assists. And Draymond ain't got 5,000 points. That's what I'm saying. Like this is all I'm saying. This is all I'm saying. Put it in the context. We talking about the greatest of the greatest of the greatest, G.
But your accomplishments matter.
Blake put up 5,000 in his sleep, G.
But your accomplishments matter, bro.
Like I said.
He's 3-time champion, 3-time All-Star, All-NBA second team, All-NBA third team, defensive
How many time All-NBA?
3-time All-Defensive first team, 2-time All-Defensive second team, NBA steals leader. First team consensus All-American, Big Ten Player of the Year, first team All Big Ten, 2-time third team All Big Ten, Big Ten All Defensive Team, Big Ten 6 Man of the Year, Big Ten Tournament MVP, number 23 retired by Michigan, and he has a gold medal in the Olympics.
Michigan State.
Michigan State, and he has a gold medal in the Olympics.
He's not a Hall of Fame.
His basketball resume, that's a great basketball.
He doesn't have a better resume than guys that are in there. He don't have a better resume than Ben Wallace, and Ben Wallace ain't in the Hall of Fame.
Ben Wallace gonna get in though. It's just gonna take him a minute. He's getting in.
I'm sorry.
And also,
if Ben Wallace had won 3 rings with that Detroit team,
if Blake never play again, he still got a better resume than Draymond.
That's fair.
That's a fair.
That's all I'm
but
saying.
Draymond's getting in. But I don't want to stand out there on this. Kevin Durant. So Kevin Durant has the Achilles injury. Obviously, we talked about it. One of the more devastating injuries, really, as an athlete in general. I think in any sport, really, the Achilles is one of the most devastating injuries.
Getting better though, like Rudy Gay.
He came back pretty well.
We've seen some improvements with it.
So I guess can we just dive deeper into first what an Achilles injury, Achilles tendon rupture actually is, and 2, what do you expect from Kevin Durant, and what are some things we might see from Kevin Durant as far as play style when he comes back, as opposed to the KD that we knew and loved before?
Yes, Achilles rupture, right? There's that tendon on the back of your leg, your calf, between your calf and your heel. It's the strongest tendon in the body, so it's not meant to be torn. But when it is torn, there's a long process to get back, right? It's a really, really strong tendon. And so essentially what happened was when he went to push off, that Achilles tore, ruptured, and so you have surgery, they reattach it, and you go through rehab. Typically, you're back in about 9 or so months.
I don't think 9 months good. I
was going to say the reason why KD, I think they're doing a good job with him. they're using it as a gap year. If he wanted to, he could probably be back by April or so. Mm-hmm. But I don't see the point, right? You let him get back to 100, use that summer to build up, and then you come back with your full team. Yeah. And the biggest difference with KD, why I don't think it's going to affect him too much, he never really relied on athleticism, right? Because he has a skill set. That jumper is his big weapon. So the biggest thing people say after Achilles is you lose that first step acceleration. That's the big thing that you lose. That's what really loads the Achilles. When you step, you got to load the Achilles in spring, right?
And I think
he hasn't really used that. I don't really think not since he had that foot fracture.
Oh yeah, the Jones fracture.
Because we forget he had that fracture and he was out for a while.
Basically still a year of basketball, 2014, 2015.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, I don't think it's going to affect him all that much, to be honest. Just his playing style as well. And, I mean, he is thinner too, so he's putting less load on his body in general. He keeps in pretty good shape, to be honest with you, overall.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
I've seen him in person.
Yeah,
Have you seen him in person?
I have seen him in person. He's another dude who impresses you, with his
this is going, and not to be disrespectful to Kevin Durant, but he has a body type kind of like mine. But I'm sneaky athletic, so I couldn't imagine like being his height with his like actual body structure and athleticism. But I'm like very slim, so like a lot of people when they see me like, oh, you're very skinny, but like I'm actually like sneaky athletic. When I see him, I'm like, oh, you kind of got other than the fact he's 6'11". When I see Kevin Durant, I'm like, oh, you kind of look like me, if that makes sense. Like, I look at his body, I'm like, you kind of look like me. You know, like me. Like, I saw him, he was walking slender, skinny, ankles looking skinny as mine.
But he's
you know what I mean?
He's stronger than you think.
Yeah, and it's not, I mean, there's no disrespect. I'm just saying, like, that's the kind of body structure he has versus seeing a guy like a Giannis where I'm like, yo, this dude is, like, I've seen KD in person, like, numerous times. I've watched him drop 50. But seeing his body and seeing Giannis' body in terms of, like, the physical, like, difference, completely different specimens. Completely different specimens. Completely different athletes.
Okay, so basically, you don't think that the Achilles will basically affect KD too much?
I don't think so, to be honest. Okay. I don't think so. I think that the next medical staff is really, really good.
Really? Okay.
This is known for throughout the league. Secondly, they're letting him take his time. That's the big thing with an Achilles rupture. If you try to rush someone back, that's when you get into trouble. In this case, they have no need
to. May I ask a question?
I don't think DeMarcus rushed back. It was almost a year for him.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
You said, I'm just saying. I didn't want to cut you off. I'm just saying, like, I wanted to ask a question in relation to something you just said. You said the Nets organization is known for having a great medical staff. Yeah. Well, obviously, if you're Kevin Durant and you don't have as much trust and faith in the Warriors medical staff anymore, he said that he looked at their organization and what they were doing as an organization and with the coach and the team and what they were building, and that's what he liked. Do you think that him also knowing, as you said, that they're medical staff, because that's I mean, I didn't know that they had a great medical staff, so you telling me that is something but do you think that factored into his decision to go there?
The Warriors have one of the best medical staffs in the league too. Yeah. I never heard anything about KD distrusting the Warriors medical staff. I don't know if y'all have other information.
No. I mean, no. But the whole thing is just like everybody's.
I feel you, but naturally,
you know what I mean? Like, no. I mean, the storyline is, well, they didn't. Even him, they mismanaged KD's injury. He said this a million times. They mismanaged his injury. He shouldn't have come back. They rushed him back.
What's your basis?
He ought to be a saint.
What's your basis for it?
I thought that what you do, even like what teams will do with, like, for instance, what the Clippers did with PG, they ruled him out indefinitely. Indefinitely doesn't put a date on it. It could be never, it could be in 2 weeks, it could be tomorrow. But when you, don't rule him out indefinitely and you just say, oh, in a month. Now you kind of like put pressure on him from everybody to, like, because you put it out there in a month. Whereas if you just say indefinitely, we don't know what that means. Like, he might never come back. He might come back in 2 days. He might come back in a week. But when you put out there a month, and, like, not to say that they force him to play, but obviously it's the finals. We down 3-1. You Kevin Durant, the whole world looking at you like they said it's a month and it's just a calf strain. Where you at? Your teammates probably looking around like, yo, bro, you good? Where you at? Like it's pressure.
So I think the PR side is fair.
He's actually debunked all of it. He said nobody asked me if I was coming back. He said nobody called me and was like, yo, when you coming back? He's like, everybody just asked me if I was good. And nobody asked me, yo, like, are you good? Are you gonna play? He's like, me and the trainer, I think his name is Rick
Celebrini. Yeah,
he said, yeah. He said, me and Rick set a date, and I told Rick that maybe like game 4, possibly game 5 of the finals, and that's what we was aiming for, and that's what I was aiming for the whole time. He's like, and like I thought I could have maybe came back back earlier, but like we was aiming for Game 5, so that's what we was aiming for. So if he was aiming for Game 5, because he said of course I wanted to play. Like, you think I didn't want to play? Like it's a championship on the line. He said this himself. I think he said
I know what he said.
So I'm just saying. So I'm not gonna put that on.
Everyone signed off on it. Meaning KD's side too.
Yeah, of course.
His second opinion, he signed off on it.
Of course.
There's always risk, right? The outcome doesn't mean that the process was bad, but there's always inherent risk, right?
Yeah.
Just because someone gets hurt doesn't mean you didn't do it the right way. For example, a counterpoint is Klay. They didn't let Klay play in Game 3 with the hamstring.
Yeah.
So we can't on one side say, oh, they're mismanaging injuries, but they didn't let Klay play in a huge Game 3, right?
That they lost.
That they lost in Game 3 without him. And so, same thing I heard from KD.
At home, too.
Yeah, and so KD said this afterwards, said the target was always
Game
4
5.
or 5.
My thing was
But
just
the
say
PR part-
indefinitely. Just say indefinitely.
I agree. The PR,
just say indefinitely.
It could have been handled better.
Don't say exactly. Don't say. Do not say don't say in a month. Because then again, not saying anybody asked.
I agree.
But like, come on, G. We all like. Nobody gotta ask you nothing. People looking when you finna play. We ain't gotta go like, yo, you gonna play today. But it's just say indefinitely.
But this is my thing. If I'm KD and I know I want to come back in the finals, why do we have to say I'm out forever? If I know I want to come back,
Indefinitely don't mean forever.
No. But this is what I'm saying. If I know that I'm targeting Game 5, why does there need to be a narrative?
First of all, it was after a month.
So what?
Like, just say
if
indefinitely.
I know
Just
I
put
want
out
to
there
play.
Put out there indefinitely.
Yes, but if I know I want to play and I know I'm not trying to be out for the rest of the year, why does the team need to announce that I'm out indefinitely or for the rest of the year? Why
I didn't say
he's hurt and we will reevaluate him in a couple years?
Just say indefinitely.
In a couple weeks.
Okay, just say he's out indefinitely. We will reevaluate him in a couple weeks.
I think you're just arguing semantics.
Now we're actually seeing that more so though, like this year.
Yeah.
You'll see. They won't say out indefinitely, but X-player will be reevaluated in 2 weeks.
They've been saying that. They've been saying that.
Not to the same extent.
They say that about KD.
But not to this extent.
Not the same extent, bro.
Not the same.
They've been saying that.
All the time now.
They've been saying that. They've been saying that.
Nah, bro, like literally, the Clippers and PG, they just said indefinitely. And you didn't know when that man was coming back. Now, granted, it was rumors that he would come back soon, but they said
starting the season and getting hurt before the finals and trying to come back and win a ring are two different things.
I'm just saying.
What are you talking about?
Say indefinitely.
If PG could have played in the finals last year on that bad shoulder, he would have been out there.
I'm just saying.
Stop it.
But again, I'm saying.
Stop it.
Again,
stop it.
What did they say with DeMarcus in the play? I don't remember. Did they rule him out indefinitely, or did they say a date? I don't remember.
No, they didn't rule him out indefinitely. They just said that he was hurt, and then once he got hurt, they announced that it was torn, and then they said we don't believe that he is out permanently in the playoffs. He can potentially come back
based on his rehab progress.
Progress.
So that's what
Same thing they said with KD.
Not exactly.
Yes, it is. It is, bro. It really is. It really is.
It wasn't.
It really is. Do I believe they mismanaged it? No, I don't. Do I believe he should have been out there? Not really. Just sit down, G. Like it kind of is what it is. Your career is worth more than this. If you really think you can give it a go, but that's also where it comes down to. It's like it's a tough situation.
It's a situation, man. Injuries in sports, bro. Like it's all gray.
Yeah.
That's why these dudes get paid what. I mean, some of these trainers get paid what they're paid, right?
Yeah.
They're making tough decisions. You don't have any definite answer. You're just going off indicators.
Yeah.
That don't mean it's definite.
What do you think about AAU and the stress that it puts on young athletes' bodies?
Oh, I hate AAU and the way they do it, man.
Really?
I mean, it kills these players.
He talks about it, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about AAU.
I just think you got 18-year-olds running around here with like 30-year-old knees. I mean, you playing 6 games in a day. Like, even if you watch 16 years old, bro, it's like pound. You got a certain amount of shock that your knees can absorb before it's that number. Like, for instance, Harry Giles, two torn ACLs in high school.
Yep.
How does that happen? You got 50-year-old knees when you get to the league. Bro, Dennis Smith Jr.
It's terrible.
Tore his ACL. I think at 16? Like, how are we having I do not like the culture of the AAU. First of all, I don't like what it teaches players, number one.
Agreed.
I don't think they teach players correct basketball, and I think that's why you see so many European players that come over here and have a leg up on us because they just been taught the game.
Sometimes literally.
Two knees up. Luka has just been taught the game better than most 20-year-olds his age from America. He's playing actual basketball like an actual team. You playing AAU basketball which is basically a pickup game, and you playing 5 of them a day, so you're not really putting in no real scheme. You was running out there with the best athletes throwing lobs up because you got talent That's what we doing.
Yeah.
I don't like it, and again, I like the stress it puts on these kids' bodies.
Yeah, so I mean, we're seeing research on one is we call single sport specialization. Kids who only play one sport, they're at a much higher risk for injury in general.
Really? You only play one sport?
Because you're putting the same stress through your body all the time.
Okay.
Whereas
I would have never guessed that.
Let's say you do multiple sports, right? One, your season gets broken up, right? So these kids, let's say you're playing winter ball baseball, then you're playing soccer. So you're putting different stress. Now you have kids just playing ball or base, whatever it is. You're putting the same stress through your body 12 months a year. That's going to lead to injuries.
And that's not even counting training sessions.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids train too.
And then burnout. Some of these kids fucking hate the sport by the end, man. I mean, think about that shit. You hate it. And so that plays into it too, the mental part. My biggest part of AAU, there's no accountability. Because the coaches are paid to win. And they don't give a they don't care if the kid, they don't care how they win. Most of these coaches don't care if the kid, it gets hurt later on. That ain't my problem, right? We won.
That and the fact it's just one huge business as well.
That's
I mean, like you gotta think like you got like all these shoe companies who are like every AAU team is sponsored by a shoe company. So we want this kid to go to this team so that this company has a leg up. Exactly. Like okay, so this is the Adidas thing. Well, okay, you go to this Adidas school, and when you get to the league, okay, we didn't have this relationship with you, so hopefully you sign with Adidas.
Exactly.
But it's not really a hopefully. It's more so like we have this established connection with you.
It's an implicit agreement.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It's
farm system.
It's a feeder system, man. And you have even no one will say it, but the colleges are set up in the same way.
Exactly.
They're linked into certain teams, AAU teams as well. It's all a big business, man. Once the money comes in, that's when you see the most vulnerable people always get affected the most. That's the kids. The kids.
Because they don't know any better, and half the time, a lot of kids coming from poverty, so they see any type of money, give it to me.
Exactly.
So I really don't like AAU basketball culture. For one, how it's teaching the game, and also just the stress that you're putting on these athletes. Like a guy like Zion, it probably took millions his knees and taking a million hits by the time he's 18, 19, and that's how you get an injury the second you get to the league, because your body done already had mad pounds. Even like a DRose. Your body done probably had, and that's not even counting.
And actually, I'm glad you said that, because literally, look what the next topic on my list was. DRose, can he sustain this play, and is he an all-star? DRose!
I mean,
what are your thoughts?
Even like DRose, you gotta think like, first of all, you've been playing on concrete half your life, number one. So in Chicago, so that
we from the crib, G. We play in the concrete so much in Chicago, we be playing in the concrete in LA. Why? It be hot as hell outside. Go ahead.
Yeah, so number one, you playing on concrete, so you gotta think the first of all, what your knees have absorbed from that. Absolutely. Then you play AAU basketball, then you play the year of college ball, then you got the league running all over the place. Yeah, your knee was dead by year 3. You've been doing jumps, and then the way you play jump stop. Yeah, your knee was bad by year 3. Like that's just year 4. Like that's just what happened. But
high usage rate.
But do I think DRose can sustain this play? I mean, yes. Is he an all-star? No. But he can sustain this play, and I think he's in contention for 6th man of the year. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he'll get it, because I don't think the Pistons are a good enough basketball team for him to get it. And which is also why I think that he won't be an all-star, because for one, if anybody's an all-star off that team, it's Drummond. Drummond's giving you 17 to 17. Drummond's literally giving you 17.17.
DRose is winning games for you, though. No.
How are you getting there?
Huh?
How are you getting there?
By DRose. Do you not see this man night after night? When he plays, they play well. Seriously.
Drummond too.
Huh?
When Drummond plays, they play well too.
Yeah, but Drummond but that's always Drummond thing. So
Drummond ain't never averaged 17 to 17 before, G.
Yeah, we can't just normalize.
I'm saying, G.
You can't, that's 17-17 is a whole different line.
Come on, G. With a steal and a block.
I guess I feel you.
No, DRose.
I said let them both. I don't care either way.
No, you can't have 2 all-stars from a AFC basketball team. It don't work like that. But no,
that's fair.
But I am happy to see DRose back playing good basketball, good quality basketball. I'm
happy to see it, man.
Yeah,
I think with him with the injuries, like we've seen some of the videos with him training. He changed the way he's training.
Yeah,
he's got a lot more into his balance, into kind of understanding really what goes into injuries.
Yeah.
Whereas, like we talked about earlier with some of the risk reward, like you don't learn it until you've been through it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing I see with young kids. It's like I wish some of these older dudes would come out me saying it, kids don't give a damn about what I'm saying. I mean, what the fuck is this guy? But it's like if an athlete comes out and it's like, yo, I went through this. If you want to get to where I am and not go through injuries, I speak up on it, and then kids will listen. So like Kobe, I know Kobe started to lead in LA. That's like an alternative to AAU, to more on fundamentals and things like that. I don't know how large it's gotten compared to
the Mamba Institute.
No, that's a whole different thing. But he started an actual kids league to focus more on fundamentals. So I mean, these guys have the ability to do it. LeBron came out and spoke on like Bronny playing like 5 games and stuff like that.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did. He spoke on it. So, but it's like I wish they were more vocal. About it. That's the only way it's gonna change.
But also LeBron is not, and not to disrespect LeBron, but he's also like in a Nike camp, so
he can't really say too much.
Yeah, it's like I can talk to y'all, but like Bronny, we got to get this paper, B. Like I'm a billionaire. You want to be a billionaire too, son? Yes. Just listen to me, G. Like at the very worst, you can be Lil Romeo.
At the worst.
Like, no, dead ass. Lil Romeo, like literally, Lil Romeo, like.
It's not a bad floor.
Lil Romeo's made a great life for himself. Like, I mean, at the very worst, you could be Lil Romeo.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not a bad floor.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, you just go from there.
I want to talk about Klay Thompson. We got, someone wanted to know about Klay Thompson's injury in his window. Obviously, he has an ACL, tear that he suffered in the finals. What are your thoughts on Klay Thompson in terms of his recovery window? Do you think that he can be the same player? He doesn't think Klay can be the same player.
ACLs, defensively. ACLs, to be honest, aren't a big deal anymore, man. Okay. It's hard for me to people don't realize that, but they're just not. Like the protocols have come such a long way, and if you look at player performance, there's metrics pre and post. Not a big difference. Okay. So usually it's after though. It takes about a year and a half, 2 years, 2 years to get back there.
Do you think he can return the season, or do you think he's out for the rest of the season?
I think he could if he wanted to, but why would they bring him back?
I mean,
they're trying to tank one.
I don't know if they're trying to tank. They keep saying Steph is going to come back in February. So if Steph comes back in February and we think Klay is healthy enough,
maybe they want people to re-up their.
I know this sounds stupid, but I keep looking at the Western Conference standings. Nobody. Listen. All I'm saying is nobody is in a position of surefire anything. Now I'm not saying they're gonna make the playoffs. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. But can they make a playoff push with a healthy Steph and Klay and Draymond?
How many wins do they have?
No, 5.
They have 5 wins right now, but how many games back are they on the AC? They only 6 games back. That's what I'm saying. Nobody's
They're
really
8 losses back.
Yeah, nobody's really pulled. You telling me Steph and Klay couldn't come back and they go on the streak when they win?
He literally just said it take a year and a half to 2 years for you to get back.
But Steph Curry has a broken hand. He gonna be okay.
No, he wasn't okay when he was out there this year.
Yes, but if Klay is back, then you got more out there, G. And Pascal is also way, way better than anybody thought. I actually think he's gonna get Draymond out of there. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs, but can they make a run? Do I think that they're gonna end up with 50 losses? No, I don't. I think at the very worst they're gonna win 35 games. And I don't think this organization is looking at this. Do you know how much money they're gonna lose?
I think for one,
this is a real question. This is not even. Do you know how much?
Chase Center.
Do you know how much? Mama, I'm sorry. I know you watch this now. You don't like when I use the F word, but do you know how much fucking money they are losing right now? They are fucking hemorrhaging
that's why I think
money right now. So that's why if Klay come back and he play, I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. But I do think that they can still make a push and get back in. What's the normal
recovery time for
about 9 months?
So that would put him at what if he got hurt in June?
So 6. It'd be about. February, right?
Yeah,
All-Star break. My thought was always if he came back, it would be after All-Star break. That's when I would bring him back. If you want to bring him back.
When it's 30 games.
That's when I thought.
It'd be 30 games.
Yeah, so I made a video on this last year, and I said I didn't know they're going to be at the point they are now, 5 wins. Yeah. But I said if he comes back, you bring him back after the All-Star break, mid-February, and you let him come back for it. The only reason I think they might come back is the money reason. You want ticket holders to re-up for next year, and that's when they re-up. That's the point.
Exactly.
You get those brochures in the mail.
You want to re-up. For $20,000 for Chase Center tickets,
Also, they're so bad they'll probably would end up getting the 5th pick right now because of how bad they are, and with the lottery odds.
It's gonna be a matter of they're 8 out right now. If they're 15 back, you ain't getting in. I mean, you ain't even getting close.
Yeah, but
Draymond. This is also why Draymond's not a Hall of Famer. But see, I could rock with bringing Klay back in March,
Like
just to get some of his sea legs back.
Exactly.
Like Paul George came back at the end of
get
that
your rhythm.
season.
Like you don't want basically to miss a whole year of basketball and hop in the next year. Like we like trying to win a ring. Because again, they don't have. I don't personally they have that much more of a window left. I think 2 to 3 years.
It's gonna be tough.
That's it. 2 to 3 years. If they don't get one within 2 to 3 years,
now
not
you telling me they get a top 5 draft pick.
That's the question.
But the thing about it is,
it's a redraft.
Yeah, like
then why?
Yeah, but
you gotta wait for the pick to develop. Like every pick just don't come out and Luka. G. You gotta wait for the pick to develop.
They want to move.
Yeah, I mean, but still, I think they want to move that with D'Angelo and Draymond.
For who?
Somebody will take that.
Yeah, I'm saying, but like for who? And how old is that person that you?
I don't think they're gonna move them together, but I think that they can move them by in different packages. I don't think Draymond Green will be a Warrior next year. I don't think D'Angelo Russell will be a Warrior next year. I don't think that pick that they gonna get is gonna be a Warrior next year.
I agree with that.
I think if I'm Bob Myers, the best way to cap relief is getting rid of D'Angelo Russell and Draymond Green, and that pick can get me somebody back.
What does that mean?
Or a couple people, to be honest.
Steph's 30, Klay's 29?
Klay is 30, Steph is going to be 32 this year.
Then you have to win now.
Yeah, you got 2 to 3
That's
years.
why I said that's why you get rid of those. Like we see what Draymond is now. His trade value is still high, but he's not the same. But also, like I said, he's a product of Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, and that's all he is, and that's why he's not a Hall of Famer. Dennis Rodman was not a product of Isaiah Thomas or Joe Dumars. Dennis Rodman was not a product of Michael Jordan. He was not a product of those Spurs team. He was Dennis Rodman. Draymond is a product of Klay Thompson and Steph Curry.
But bro,
Klay Thompson was out there the whole time. That Warriors team was always a great team defensively.
Yeah, but
look at the pieces behind him.
I agree.
You can say that for everybody with every defensive.
You need a team around you.
That's not true. Not true. Put Kawhi Leonard on any team and he gonna play good defense.
No, that's not true. He had one of the best defensive centers behind him as well. He not winning 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards without Tim Duncan being behind him. No, literally, you are only as good as your help. G. You're going to get beat. They are too fucking good. I gotta go on Harden. I'm gonna get beat.
All right, bro.
Help me, G.
All right, bro. Put Scottie Pippen anyway. He's still gonna be the same defender.
No, he's not.
You're lying, G.
No, he's not.
You're lying, and I don't even rock with Scottie like that. But you're lying.
No, they're not.
Put Scottie on anywhere on God's green earth in his goddamn prime. He defending him.
No, G. You play.
Now you want to talk to me about offense? Cool.
You play defense as a team, bro. You do not play defense by yourself.
All right, bro.
I didn't say, but even that applies to Draymond though. His defense hasn't fallen off, has he?
Yeah. Who is he defending?
I mean, who is that team defending?
Who is he defending?
Who is that team?
Who he locking down on a nightly basis? Who are they beating? They got 5 wins.
To be fair, though,
they couldn't beat the goddamn.
To be fair, though, most of the games they lose, they are in. They aren't. They for the most part.
And guess what? He had like 7 points.
What you saying?
Offensively, no issue with that. I'm just saying defensively.
Look, I don't see 3 blocks a night. I don't see like Draymond used to have a ton of games where they'd be like Draymond had a 5-5-5 night tonight, or he was close to a 5. I ain't seen none of them shits. Where's them 3-4 steal nights at? Where them 5 blocks, 4 steal nights at? I don't see them. I see 7 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, a half a steal, and a block. That's not Hall of Fame numbers in your 7th year, my man. This is your 7th year. That's not Hall of Fame numbers. That's what I'm saying. It's different.
You can argue that they missed KD the most on the defensive side.
I agree with that
too. KD's weak side help, man.
But they was good before KD.
No, I'm just saying their D when they locked in with KD.
I think they miss Iggy the most. They miss Iggy more than anybody. I really do. I think if Iggy was out there, they wouldn't be losing these games.
They still be losing, but just not as much.
I don't think they would be losing these games. I think if Iggy was out there, they would probably be the 10th or 11th seed right now.
You think Iggy gives them like a +5 right now wins?
I think I do because what a lot of things that you even him earlier with his crazy ass rant about Zion not equating to wins. Experience and play on the floor equals wins. You talking to me about inexperience. Iggy is one of the most experienced athletes in the NBA today. You got rookies out there. You got Pascal. You got Alec Burke out there. You got Glenn Robinson, the second out there. You got a lot of guys. the third. Excuse me. You got a lot of guys out there that are young and inexperienced and also don't know how to and don't know the scheme. Not even that they don't know the schemes. So like they trying to learn terminology, defensive terminology, offensive terminology. He know all of that. He not letting a lot of those late game flounders happen because just he's there. And it's certain young guys where, and also even Draymond said at the beginning of the year, I have to change my leadership style because clearly it's not working.
Right. He can't.
A guy like Iggy is the polar opposite of a guy like Draymond. He put his head down, he worked, and he is a prime, I'm team, I'm Steph guy. He would have easily added 5 more wins to them. I'm sorry. You can, like, I don't think Iggy's a Hall of Famer.
How many close games?
But I do see his value.
Have they been in a bunch of close games? I'm just wondering.
As a whole,
if they have been,
they have a bunch of games within 10
If that's the case, then I agree with you.
Usually they lose games in like the last 2 minutes.
Okay, then I agree with you.
Like think about the war. Like they don't go out there and just get ran for like at least since the beginning of the season.
Not anymore.
And like the first 2 weeks were bad, but after that, like they ain't been out there getting ran over. It's like,
let me see if I can find that stuff.
Okay, if we have like,
I'm gonna see if I can find that.
Then I agree with you.
But even just looking at their games, even games in which they're getting blown out. It's not happening if Iggy's on the floor. There is nobody on that team right now that can go and guard the other team's primary scorer.
Absolutely.
And on any given night, even if Iggy didn't score, you could put him on the other team's primary scorer on the perimeter, on the wing, and do that. Draymond, that's what makes Draymond so effective. Because now, if you Draymond, I'm getting switched out on all game long, but now I got to take the number 1 guy, the number 2 guy, and the power forward, and I got to rebound, and I got to play point guard, and I got to rotate, and Draymond. Actually, speaking of health, what are your thoughts on Draymond? Draymond, to me, his body seems to be over the past few years slowly but surely breaking down.
So I think,
what do you think about Draymond Green's injury history, and do you think that you think he will be able to have a 12-plus year career? I believe he's in year 7 or 8 right now.
So first of all, let me speak generally on the whole Warriors team, right? 5 straight finals runs in a row.
Yeah.
That in and of itself is so stressful to your body, man. Those deep playoff runs.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised any of these injuries are happening.
Okay.
Like they're worn out.
Okay.
Dude, I remember the Lakers when they won 3 in a row, 4 and 5 years. They were worn the fuck out.
Yeah, they were.
And they were worn, and now you got guys going into their 30s with this. So I mean, it doesn't surprise me to see any of it with any of these guys. Now, to Draymond specifically, he's a bigger dude than some of these guys. So again, like we talked about earlier, some of these things from earlier in your career start to manifest now, right? So 5 more years, I think he has to have. I think he'll get there to 12.
Okay. Just
because he's adjusting his game and he's able to play with a guy like Steph and Klay, whereas his usage numbers aren't that high.
Yeah, this is the 8th season.
Yeah, so his usage. Now, if he goes to a team where he was like a 1 or 2 option, first that team would suck. But secondly, that's gonna wear you out. If he stays on this Warriors team, then I agree with you.
Okay.
I right now I know like he's being load managed too.
Yeah, he is.
Right, like rest.
Yeah. His numbers across the board are pretty much the worst of his career trending right now. I mean, with the exception of points, last year he didn't score as much, but this year he's scoring a little bit more, but he's shooting less. But he's shooting 40.9% from the field goal range, 26.7% from the 3-point line, 70. No, it's not actually. It's a career low. Actually, well, other than his rookie year, so it's a career low. And even from the free throw line, he's shooting 72%, which is 3% higher than last year, but still nowhere near what his highest was. And I mean, in terms of rebounding, an entire rebound less, an entire assist less, a half a block per game less. He's averaging a little bit less on personal fouls and turnovers, but it's just like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not really seeing that, and I think that with it coming out that he's 6'6", he's a small guy now, and I think that Pavy laughed at me when I said that I think Draymond should play small forward, but I think that now that he's getting older, he can't play.
He can't space the floor.
But that's also why I don't necessarily know what his shelf life is as he's going forward. Like,
to me, Draymond.
You know what I mean? Like, he'll be a guy that I think can be a guy that can come in and maybe get you like 5 points and maybe 4 rebounds like in the future. But like, that's not.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
To me, he's like an elite role player. On a championship team.
Yeah.
The problem is. We got 4 for 90?
Yeah.
Now you're paying him.
Yeah, that's a lot.
A lot for that level of play.
Yeah, he was worth it years ago, but now.
Now the question is exactly. So I mean, he's a great role player, but it's still a role.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So I can agree with you. I don't know. He has to have guys like Steph and Klay around him. He makes everyone better, but he has to have talent around him in the first place.
Yeah.
Like. This Warriors team, like he can't really excel on that team, right?
I agree.
So
So let's talk about going vegan. One of our fans asked us, "What are your thoughts about going completely vegan? Is it good for professional athletes?"
To be honest,
shout out to the homie Darius.
I would love to answer this question, but to be honest, it's completely outside my scope of knowledge.
Okay, it's more of like a nutritional.
Yeah, it's more nutritional. Okay. I wouldn't even really know enough about it to speak on it, and so I don't even want to speak on it in that regard. I don't want to give out bad information. So
okay, I'm not upset at that. So let's go ahead and let's actually talk about. Somebody else asked about the charge line. Someone they said that I saw suggesting to move the charge line away from under the basket so there's less chances of injury. He thought that it might be a good topic. Shout out to Kyle Ferrer, I believe that's his name on Twitter. Shout out to him. What are your thoughts on moving the charge line? Do you think that that'll help with the injuries because guys are standing underneath the hole trying to get that charge? Trying to really. Because a lot of it is gamesmanship.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then you see these injuries underneath the rim and things of that sort, or guys falling the cameras. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that they should get rid of it?
The charge line?
Yeah.
I like the charge line. I like it the way it is. If you move it out, it shortens the playing field even more, man.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing.
I feel like
you don't have guys at the free throw line trying to stand there, right?
Yeah.
So there's two ways. Of course, I want to reduce injury risk. Yeah. But you have to balance it with still keeping the game good. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I like where it's at right now. And so I would keep it there. Mm-hmm. It would reduce injury risk by moving it out further. Mm-hmm. But it's like there's lots of stuff in the league that you could reduce injury risk, but it's going to make the game a lot shittier. Yeah. So you got to balance those two.
I think they should get rid of the charge line.
You think so?
I don't think it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No. But this is why I say this: get rid of it because it doesn't add anything to the game. And if usually you're going to review block charge fouls in the middle of the game, then if you think it's a questionable block charge, review it anyway.
The purpose of the charge line.
No, seriously. Don't they usually review that, or aren't coaches challenging it now?
The purpose of the charge line was to prevent guys from sliding underneath people when they get in the air. So it's because if I just slide underneath,
but it still happens though.
Yes, that's farther from the.
Well, you weren't here. The topic was the fan asked if he saw a suggestion about about moving the charge line further away to help with not so many injuries. I don't agree with that because I think that takes away guys' ability who want to get to the rim, ability to be able to get to the rim the way that they want to because that line is there. So now I have to play it further out. I'm more of the idea of let's see how the game looks if we get rid of it. Like before, when we instituted it, the game was played much more in the mid-range and closer to the basket. Now it's played out a little bit further. I think guys, when they taking charges, they looking for that line to try to get there rather than just being like, if I'm in the right position. Now, and most guys nowadays, you're not really trying to stand under the rim and get dunked on anyways, or stand under the rim. Like even when LeBron dunked the other day in Miami, Myers Leonard, he under the rim. The pictures is literally his eyes open, he see LeBron, and the next picture is him blinking like, oh shit, because he knows the ball is coming. Yeah. He not trying to get under there and take that dunk from LeBron. LeBron might catch a body like Nurkic every now and then, but like he was gonna catch that body anyways. I don't really think it's needed anymore, and I think when you see guys like Ja Morant trying to go up and fly, a lot of them trying to do that stuff as well because they know that if you are in that area and your foot is there and I go up and I create the contact, I can get the foul. Well, if we just judging it purely off block charge, off of what we seeing with our eyes, you're not really gonna be doing that like that. These guys not gonna be going in there and going as crazy. And I think we see a lot more leg and foot injuries now than we ever seen before. And I think a lot of that is contributed because of the fact that these guys are sliding underneath each other, trying to be a gamesman and play gamesmanship rather than just playing the game to just play the game. And like you talk about Harden manipulating the game, and he talks about Harden himself talks about manipulating the rules. Block charges are still a form of manipulating the rules. And if you a guy that's good at taking charges and stuff like that, you do that, but that don't mean that other guys ain't potentially put at risk for doing it. Zaza took a lot of block charges that I didn't necessarily like. Where usually it would sometimes even get the charge, but I sometimes like that's not a good position for you to be in. But then, like you say, like even with Kawhi, you say he didn't mean to hurt him, but he also did not mean to hurt him. You eliminate some of that risk. That's just personally how I feel. You can go ahead though.
I mean, I don't know. I think people still be trying to take charge regardless. Again, they put it in to protect people from sliding underneath them, right underneath the rim. I mean, I think keep it the way it is. I don't see a need to get rid of it. or
To be
to
honest
move
with
it
you.
out. I just keep it the way it is.
There's plenty of other problems in the NBA that I would address.
What are the other problems that
beforehand.
you
I mean, the
believe?
biggest one we talked about is the manipulation of the rules when it comes to the biggest one I see, and I've seen this for years, is Jokic does it, Harden does it now, is when people pull your elbow up.
Yeah, see,
That's
I
just dangerous.
I talk to him about
man.
that all the time.
That's just dangerous to your shoulder. Cause I see all the time. Like Jokic will come down.
Harden, he has
Harden will
the
do it.
kinetic tape on his shoulders all the time.
I'm just saying, so but it can hurt someone else too. Like your arm's here, and you pull up real quick. What's going to happen to your shoulder joint, right?
Yeah.
And they're trying to draw these fouls, but at some point, someone's going to get hurt. And the problem with the NBA is they only address stuff when something happens.
Yeah.
Like for example, like what was it when Draymond kicked out and hit someone?
Adam,
Adam,
But like that shit happens all the time, but they only called it after it hit someone.
Who kicked somebody in the face this year on the Clippers? It was somebody on the Clippers got his foot up
Kicked
real
out?
high and kicked somebody in the face.
Oh, Patty Patterson got.
He got kicked in the face by.
I forgot who it was.
I see Westbrook do it. I see Kobe used to do it. But like they should regulate that out right away.
Reggie did it all the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so that's another that rule needs to be consistent for like kicking out on 3-pointers.
Yeah.
I see it called like here and there.
Yeah, but it's also it's just like it's hard to decipher in real time if you actually kicked out. Cause it's like you gotta think like people even talk about Harden. Oh, he's jumping forward. Like, bro, have you ever tried to shoot the ball from 30 feet out?
That's true. But he's jackknifing. He's
Nah,
like,
but bro, have you ever tried to bink and like fading away?
but you don't jackknife.
I'm just saying, like, or even like,
I've seen the video. You don't jackknife.
or
And
even
you're not
like
doing this underneath somebody
It's
else's
just
arm.
dangerous. It's dangerous.
Take it out.
It really is. I actually didn't even think about that until you hurt somebody's elbow.
Yeah,
Like,
I've seen. The first guy I ever saw do it was Jokic. He would come down. You're playing normal defense. He gets under you and comes up. So what am I supposed to do? And the wrist is all on me as a defender.
yeah, but
right?
then you get the foul call.
and his foul's on me. So I was like, what the like?
take it out.
I agree.
Take it out.
That's what I'm
But that
saying.
takes away an advantage for your guy.
No, really. I mean, he would still go to the line 13 times a game. He does that like maybe once.
I'm just saying. No, he does it. He does it 3-4 times a game.
Nah, because
bro.
usually he'll like
Harden
hold
does
the
that 2-3 times
Usually
a game.
it's the way he puts the ball over your arm.
He puts the ball out and he just runs into you and then
I mean, he has
like
got to
that.
do with science, but the hook and stuff, some of that stuff's got to go. Lou does it too.
Lou does it a lot.
He does it
Lou
a
does
lot.
it a lot.
He
Lou
does
does it a lot.
of it
Lou does
too.
it a lot.
And you see a lot of bias
Kawhi
now.
did it in the finals a lot as well.
Oh, yeah. You see a lot of bias with these thinner players. Like LeBron gets hit a ton.
Yeah.
And they don't call there. It's LeBron, he's big. It's like how Shaq used to be.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't kill him.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Shaq though. But like Lou comes in, gets hit,
Yeah.
and he'll sell it.
Yeah.
So I say now, what you see with refs in general, bro, they don't even see what they're calling. They call reaction.
Yeah.
All they're calling are reactions,
yeah.
man. Like, you see so many moving screens where the guy doesn't flop, and you're like, that's a fucking moving screen.
Yeah.
They didn't call it because they do it. You see a perfectly legal screen, and the
guy
dude
just fall out.
Yeah, and it's a foul. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what are you actually seeing what you're calling? Or are you just calling the reaction?
Also thinking like real time. It's also
you saw that clip of Tim Donaghy talking. Did you see that? Did you see that clip that Paul George tweeted? Tim Donaghy was talking about how basically like the refs get a report before every game about like what they're supposed to emphasize. So like the way he tipped certain people off was like based on, he wouldn't even tell them what the score of the game would be, or he would even specifically call things to change the game. It's just like based upon what the league told them to specifically target for that game. He would tell the better guys to bet on that game based off of what they told them to target. So like if he knew that like they had an emphasis for like the carry that day, like, oh well, we know like he.
This player likes to do this.
I think he said it was either. I think he said Allen Iverson. He got into it with Joey Crawford, and basically Joey Crawford called like 4 carries on him in that game. But just because AI like got into it with him, so he called.
I'm calling everything.
Yeah, and then he said basically AI looked at Joey Crawford and was like, how long is this gonna last? And he was like, and he just kind of smiled at him and like kept running. But like so. I mean, I walk past the referee's locker room all the time. I personally don't think they have agendas, but also basically based upon what Tim Donaghy said, like there is a level of vindictiveness and personal bias that does exist within some of these referees.
Joey Crawford, Tim Duncan, remember he looking at him on the side, he threw him out for looking at him.
For smiling.
Yeah,
he's
for looking at
smiling.
him.
threw him out.
I mean, I will say we all shit on the referees, but it's not hard. It's not easy, to referee to ref
not
an NBA game, especially now. Because you have guys trying to,
I mean, guys flopping. People talk to you any kind of way, yelling at you. You gotta like move on. Like
talking to me any kind of way don't mean nothing. I've been in rec leagues and I grew up around softball players. Like 16-inch softball players. They say the most ridiculous, outlandish shit to the umps unless they respect them. There's certain like older umps that like certain people would never say something to, but it'd be other umps they be calling them all. That
don't make it okay though.
Yes, it does. That's
don't make it okay.
Because you know what happened after the game. What the umps do? They go to them afterward. They shake their hand. They talk some shit back to them after the game is over.
But there's a limit to like what you should be able to say.
It's cool, man. As long as you're not putting your hands on them or like physically violating their space. I don't think it. I mean, of course you shouldn't be talking about nobody wife and kids or their religion or their race or their ethnicity. But like within the games, or just be like that was a call, like whatever. Like I'm cool with that. I've seen worse on the softball field. And they ain't getting paid. And those umpires getting paid like $50 a game.
That don't make it right.
Not $15,000.
I hear you, but that don't make it right.
And don't make it wrong either. It's entertainment. That's what this is. It's entertainment. Everybody act like this shit is corporate America. This shit ain't corporate America. This is entertainment. This right here, entertainment, bro. Okay. It's entertainment.
That's fair. But at the same time, I think the players have to understand which refs allow that. There's a lot of new refs now, so they don't have those relationships, right? So like a lot of refs now are doing quick tees, just like they think that someone's like trying to like talk shit about them, but it's just a normal conversation.
Like, this is 2020 and progressive tech.
To an extent,
exactly. But somebody, not somebody, but everybody, and you yourself made an amazing video on Kawhi Leonard. Which is actually the reason why I reached out to you, just because like I like bringing people on the show to do things that are parallel with what we do, and obviously we cover the LA Clippers, on a normal basis. We've pretty much covered I think every home game this year with the exception of the Lakers game. So Kawhi Leonard, and also I put this in there earlier, but really I kind of put it in there because I wanted to talk about it earlier. But then when we were talking about walks, Kawhi Leonard has a very, very interesting walk. As a member of the media, usually we have to wait an hour after every game because he goes and gets like a really deep, I guess, massage and treatment and all stuff like that. A lot of people criticize the load management. They think that it's cheating the game or whatever it is. I personally am of the belief that if these guys aren't healthy, they shouldn't be playing. We want longevity, not a quick whatever. And these games, everybody loves to say, oh, the ratings are down because these games don't matter. But then at the same time, they'll say, well, Kawhi Leonard load managing is hurting the game. I'm confused. If the ratings don't matter because the games don't matter, then if the games don't matter now and they matter in March, April, May, and June, then I'm not playing for today. I'm playing for March, April, May, and June. What are your thoughts?
Well, I would say this. First thing is this, man. If Kawhi could go out there and play every game, he would play. This dude loves the ball. The one thing that I know he loves in life is to play basketball. Yeah. Like that's his passion.
He does.
It's not by choice where he's like sitting out games and like, I don't want to play this game.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that needs to happen, back to your PR point, instead of saying load management, be like, injury prevention. Change the term, something.
They actually do, and actually, I wonder if I can.
Knee maintenance.
I actually think that they do.
I think they change.
I think I'm literally gonna go and look at their official injury report while we talk about this and see. I think they've started saying it.
So they changed it.
They've said. I think it says left knee injury management.
So that's the first thing that needs to happen, and they've done it to their point.
Let's see.
But like with Kawhi, it's like he had the nature of his injury is such that it has to be constantly managed.
Kawhi Leonard, technically, according to their injury report, was listed out in the Bulls game with an injury illness, left knee injury management, left knee soreness. That's what he's listed as. But I mean, I do feel like the media has created this term of low man. Like the Spurs, use it as a term for them trying to actually from their perspective more of a medical term, and the media was like, yo, this is a great fucking narrative. Like, what the fuck is
the way it got big was when Braun was out for load management last year. Because Kawhi was doing it on the Raptors, but nobody really paid attention. And then when it popped up as LeBron load management, it became a thing.
Oh yeah, it was.
The Cavs, though.
No, he did it with but the way it became big was last year with the Lakers. Remember he took the game off for load management. And then it was what the fuck is load management? And then that's when the load management thing.
I got you. Well, anything with LeBron takes off, it's ridiculous. But that's a whole other story. Yeah, but I mean, with Kawhi, the nature of his injury, and I talked about, you guys watched the video, so I mean, the way his injury worked, it's like, I think about it like this. Like, if you have a bucket, every time he plays, it drops in a bucket. You don't want to let that bucket overflow. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. So when you load manage, you're just reducing the amount of water in that bucket.
Okay.
You're trying to maintain a certain level of strength in that tendon, but if it gets to the point where it overflows, it's really hard to then get out in front of that injury. Yeah. And so like last year we saw it with Josh Hart. He had patella tendonitis, and then there came a point in the season in January where he pretty much couldn't play anymore.
Yeah, he was done.
Yeah, he was done. He was shooting like 44% from three. He went to like 27% in January. He had surgery. He had a PRP. Couldn't play out.
What's PRP?
PRP is like an injection with your own blood cells to try to help with healing.
Okay, it's like where they take the white blood cells or whatever. And
red blood cells, and they recycle, and they try to centrifuge them, and they condense them, and they put them back into your system. And then Embiid had the same thing where they rested him for, I think it was 7 or 8 games after the All-Star break, right? And they tried to get him some rehab because he had the knee. Jumper's knee. Patella tendonitis.
Yeah, what is that for the people that don't know what jumper's knee is?
So jumper's knee is you have a tendon that sits below your kneecap, like right below, and that's called your patella tendon. And that's patella tendonitis is jumper's knee. And it's really sore in jumping sports, and that's what Kawhi has on his left knee.
Oh, okay.
Which we only found that out after the NBA released that. Okay. They did a release on that.
Oh, yeah.
After Doc.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
When Doc was saying, "Oh, he's healthy. Kawhi's healthy. He's healthy. He's all good. It's all good." And NBA said, "Nah, he's not." Okay. Because the only reason, I guess, the new policy now with load management is the team has to send the NBA evidence. Saying that this dude's actually not healthy. And they were sending evidence to the league saying, okay, this is why his left knee.
And also what I've been seeing more in the media rooms is on nights when Kawhi doesn't play is actually seeing the full like injury report printed out and signed, like, because you know how because the coaches both have to sign their lineup sheets with and also with the injury reports as well. So now what I've been seeing more even in the media locker room is like a full injury report as opposed to before, early in the season, before this whole thing happened. If we just saw whatever was listed on the official PR. Now, like when I'm at the games, there's an official signed, photocopied injury report from both teams. So it's interesting.
Yeah, so I think it's becoming a little more transparent now, just to show that, hey, he's really hurt. I think they got themselves into trouble by trying to hide it in the first place. You should have been like, he's dealing with with injury. No one's gonna be like, oh my God, like people would get it.
Yeah, because you come out and say he's fine, then he just doesn't play 48 hours later. It's like, well.
Yeah, I think Kawhi might have some like PTSD from the Spurs years, or like that last year where people were questioning like, oh, why is he not playing? They said he's healthy, why is he not playing? So I guess the natural instinct is just to be like, try to hide it because I don't want to deal with it. And then, but once it got out, Now they're being transparent with it. But anyways, the nature of his injury is such where it's going to have to be managed for the rest of his career. And what concerned me was when he started limping last year
in the finals.
It was in the conference finals.
It was bad too.
He was limping bad.
In the finals, it was bad.
And he didn't really play that well in the finals either.
He played great to me in the finals. I mean, he didn't play as well as he could have, but he still played great.
Relative.
Early on. True.
I thought Kyle Lowry's finals MVP, and I'll say that forever. I thought it was Kyle Lowry.
You're doing good, though.
Nah, bro. Remember the dunk he was in Golden State when he stutter stepped to like get the momentum because he couldn't take off on one leg?
Exactly.
It was bad in the finals.
Yeah, so he was hurt.
He was on one leg in the finals.
So with San Antonio, he hurt it was his right side, and now it's his left side. And it was reported that it was because he was compensating for his left side. But that tells me that right side is still bothering him. Because you wouldn't be compensating unless you still have something going on with the right side. So basically they're managing both sides. The overt injury is the left patella tendonitis. It's going to be a
So what are management treatments for that type of tendonitis? And you also mentioned Joel Embiid. I mean, is he going to be in the same situation for his entire career? But he's also a larger human being and he weighs more.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a risk when it's long standing for this amount of time. Embiid, because Embiid's being load managed this year a couple times as well, right? But they're being more proactive with it this year. Last year they let it linger. This year they're doing more consistency. I mean, the biggest thing, honestly, so you do hands-on treatment, but the biggest thing is you gotta give the person some rest to allow that tendon to not become super flared up. Because with these issues, once they flare up on you, it's really difficult to then get out in front of it.
Okay,
so you want to
without like just completely stopping.
Yeah, without completely shutting down for a while.
Okay.
So that's why it's like people are saying, oh, it's only like week 2. Why is he sitting out? Because that's the nature of the injury. It's not like they're just doing it just because. It's not like a big fuck you to the fans.
You don't want to get hurt. And then,
it's literally
now you got to sit out for a period of time. Right?
Or you just got to manage it being worse the whole rest of the year.
You got to be. You have to be proactive with this.
Okay.
To me, it's basic. It's like, yo, if I'm playing ball 2 days in a row and like the first day I play, next day I'm hella sore, I'm gonna be like, no, I can't play. Like it's simple to me.
Yeah.
Like it's not like it's some like game changing thing. For some reason people are like taking this term and him resting as like some paradigm shift.
Yeah.
I think he's just the first to do it to that extent.
Yeah. But
also it's something that's required.
It's his body though.
Yeah, but it's something for him that it's required because he has both his knees are dealing with tendon issues. And so I can't hate on it. Last year we saw him do it and he was still injured at the end. Yeah. So it's like, why wouldn't you be more cautious this year?
Yeah. Especially, like I said, you're playing for April, May, June. But you got to go, or do you have time to talk Lakers?
Oh, always have time.
All right, cool.
For Lakers.
Let's talk Lakers. You're a Lakers fan, obviously. I can hear it throughout your entire voice, throughout the entire time we were speaking. Talk Lakers basketball. Can they win it all? What are your thoughts on this team? Currently, they are tied with the Milwaukee Bucks for the best record in the NBA. Fewest losses, 3 losses so far. It's the best record that they've had, I believe, since since like pretty much they won championship. 08-09. So, what are your thoughts on this Lakers team? Do you think that they can, number one, win 60 plus games, and do you think they can win it all?
I mean, the way we started, 21-3, 60 plus is almost like guaranteed. I think I read a number. If we go 500 rest of the season, we'll be over 50 games.
Okay.
So I mean, it's to that extent. You started this well. I mean, the biggest thing that comes, we know what LeBron gives you. We know what AD gives you, right? And the question is always, it was always, what are the players around them, right? Start of the year, we started pretty poorly with our 3-point shooting, but over the last 20 games, it's been the top 5. Yeah. It's going to come down to, in the end,
can you shoot the ball?
Can you shoot the ball from the perimeter? Because you have 2 guys with huge gravity with AD and LeBron. I mean, LeBron to me is the best passer I've ever seen.
Really?
But I didn't see like Magic or any of those guys. I mean, he's just his ability to recognize anticipation. Fair enough, but he still draws more than Nash, I think. He can see over the defense though. Nash cannot. That's the biggest difference. You can put LeBron in the pinch post and allow him to navigate.
He can make a pass from here to the corner.
To all the way there. Like that pass to Avery Bradley on the catch. That was incredible.
That one, the pass to Garrett Dudley that he made in Orlando, even though he missed it, the pass was like,
across court. I mean, Nash is tremendous. I think it's a different style because Nash is predominantly pick and roll. LeBron is off anything, right? So I think that when it comes down to winning a championship, I mean, the biggest obstacle, obviously the Clippers, right? So it's going to come down to, can you defend the wings? Kawhi and PG, I mean, bigger players, right? But the mismatch on the other side is, can the Clippers defend AD? And that's the question, right? So that's what it's going to come down to. It'll be really interesting. The X Factor, Danny Green's a big X Factor. He's a great defender in and of itself, but he also knows Kawhi intimately, right, from his time with him. So that's.
They're also, I think, best friends as well.
Yeah, they're really good friends. I think what's going to happen, you're going to have AD playing Kawhi or Paul George.
I'm not mad.
AD's probably gonna play Kawhi because with the way Kawhi's been playing. I also think to even help with the fact that talking about his injuries, he's not really that much on the perimeter. He's more so playing in the post and mid-range area, so you're not even putting as much stress on you. And PG is the one that's kind of taking that shooting guard, small forward role, being more on the perimeter.
Quick aside: can Kawhi Leonard guard Jokic?
Guard Jokic?
Yes.
I mean, Jokic. I don't. I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Okay. Cool.
I haven't seen Kawhi. I haven't seen Kawhi. I think probably, the problem with Jokic is a big dude, though, weight-wise.
Puts you in the pose.
The question is, do you want Kawhi having someone lean on him for an entire series like that, bro? So
is he going to lean on you? If he passes from the top of the key, he ain't leaving.
The thing about Jokic though, when he sees a mismatch, he will get in the low block.
I don't think Kawhi is a mismatch though. Kawhi is, I think, is arguably a top 5 strongest player in the NBA. I'm not joking.
I agree, but
people bounce off of him.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say he's a really, really strong player. That's why he plays that mid post really well. But playing someone with a weight advantage on you over a series for minutes, The question is, do you want to risk that knowing you have the Lakers or someone like that next?
What if they are next? I'm just saying.
And
like
you
in
got to
terms
go
of
down and score too as well.
It's Kawhi Leonard. He can't go down and score.
I'm just saying, G. It's
Torrey Craig gonna be guarding it. They're gonna send Torrey Craig.
The thing about being tired though, bro. Like you getting like.
So to answer your question, I think he can. But do you want him doing that considering the full context? I don't think you do. I don't think you want him to.
I just want to know if you thought he can.
I think he can.
They told me he can't.
I think no.
They told me he can't. I'm fine with I'm fine with you saying context, but okay. No, literally, I said if I'm the Clippers and I need somebody to guard Jokic, I'm gonna probably put. He won't play him the whole series, but when I need to late in games, we was talking about late in games because we was talking about guarding Embiid at the end of games versus guarding Jokic, and I said that the
different Matt, yeah,
it is. Embiid's just bigger, stronger, and got to me a better all around offensive game. 100%. Jokic is a better passer. That's where it stops. Kawhi can guard Jokic because Jokic can't do that much on offense.
I disagree with that.
You're not running.
I disagree.
Like literally, if you running post ups for Jokic on Kawhi for the whole game, you're not gonna win.
I disagree with Jokic. Can't do that much on offense. I really disagree.
He can. He really can.
He has a turnaround fade. He has a hook shot. He can catch a three.
The hook is what will give Kawhi problems.
I'm cool with that.
Because
what is he averaging?
With Kawhi's hands, I mean, if he tries to bring the ball around him, Kawhi will use his hands. But with the hook, you use your body, right up over him. That's the big one. And Jokic has good touch around the rim as well. Yeah. That's the question.
You say, what is he averaging? I mean, probably his normal 18, 19 points. If Jokic,
and we winning.
If Jokic is averaging 27 points, your team isn't that good. I told you, peak Jokic to me, 18, 12, 7. If Jokic got to average 25, 26 points, your team ain't that good, you have no shot.
I agree.
In general.
I agree.
He ain't that good.
But it ain't going matter. Like you said, we talked about it with Nuggets. They have no go-to guy in the
end. Exactly.
You can shut down their movement in the end.
Exactly.
Right? So, I mean, Murray is not that consistent enough.
He ain't taking it out. I think everybody in Denver is playing one spot too high up.
That's fair.
They all of them should be slotted down one spot. Then they be.
They need one wing, like you said. They need one scoring wing.
The one thing that worries me with the Lakers, though, just going back to the Lakers.
Are they championship or bust?
I mean, yeah, obviously.
Okay, I'm just glad you agree with that because everybody's been mad at me about free agency, and because I said that I thought that they lost free agency. I still feel that they lost free agency. I think this is a championship or bust year for them. I thought there were better assets for them to be had especially for the long term for them. Especially trying to keep AD. I don't know if AD is staying after this year, even though people think why not. I don't necessarily know if AD is staying. I kind of feel like AD still wants to be his own show. He telling me he want to win MVP. You can't win MVP with LeBron James on your team. And LeBron doesn't look like he's going to retire for another 3-4 years, which is great for LeBron. It is, but I can't be the show if he's here. And if I'm AD, I might go somewhere.
At the same time, AD's been the show in New Orleans. And how did that go for him? Like he's seen what it's like not to play with help.
Yeah, but this is a guy that said for the past 3 years he want to win MVP.
I understand that, but it's like I think he's also played now. He's seen like complete opposite sides of a very competitive team and how it was trying to like struggle in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I think he much prefers this.
Yeah, I'm sure he prefers only 3 losses.
And also, I think that as time progresses, I think AD will start to become more and more of AD's team.
Yeah,
Obviously, LeBron's 35 years old. Like, yeah, it's dope right now, but he can't keep doing this forever. Like, he can't keep doing this forever.
Sure.
Not this. So basically, again, and then AD is 26 years, 27 years old.
Yeah.
To me, he's just not entering his prime. I think AD will, if AD keeps playing what AD is playing, he's gonna get one MVP eventually. At some point in time, he's gonna get one.
I agree. The one thing AD has to work on, and this is going back to championship point, he's still not a good passer when it comes to reading the defense. On a short roll or either double, he's still hesitant. He still doesn't make the right read a lot of times. And so he's improved over the course of the season. But if he really wants to be MVP level candidate,
but is a lot of that on the centers that are playing around him and the space that they occupy? So I'm not upset with that assessment this year on this team, but AD on his own team to me I thought was a good passer in those scenarios. I just don't necessarily know if the spacing on the floor for the Lakers allows him to be able to make the same reads that he would have made on a team where LeBron or JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard aren't occupying those spaces on the floor that he would usually have to be open to be able to see more of it.
Yeah, it might just be an acclimation process, right? Like him.
That's just like an honest assessment looking at it, because I've always felt like AD was an underrated passer, but also sometimes it was kind of like in certain scenarios he never had shooters around him.
That's true.
He always had a playmaker, a fake 3-and-D wing, and a bullshit point guard. You know what I mean? Who you passing to in those scenarios?
I got you.
And you still having to make ratatouille with trash. If basically now you got LeBron, all these guys on the floor, I can't even make the same pass because the spacing is different.
I think some of it is him getting used to who he has around him. Like,
do you think that the chink in his arm? Do you think that will be something a point of contention for them in the playoffs or when they're playing somebody, or is it just more of like this is the thing that I think AD could improve upon?
Well, for one, something you can improve upon, but secondly, I think you're in a C team trying to give him different looks. Just LeBron's the type. He picks up on stuff right away. You see it right away, man. It's crazy. I think AD takes a little more time for him to adjust to it. And so I think you will see it, and over a course of a 7-game series, you have the ability to adjust those looks. And like I think to your point, in New Orleans, even when Cousins came, they played their best ball like from in January before he got hurt, after AD adjusted to the new player. And so I think that's to your point as well. But that's also, I guess, a positive for the Lakers. Like, this is a team that's still getting used to each other. So are the Clippers, of course, as well. I mean, you put in 2 new players. Shamet's he just came back.
He finds back. Yeah, he had I saw him 2 weeks ago, and I was like, okay, he's not limping. He might be back in like a week, and 2 weeks later, like, you know what I mean? So
high ankle sprains.
He was on crutches. He was limping for a minute.
Injury, man. Rough injury.
My only thing with the Lakers is, I think Kyle Kuzma is the most important player for this team. I know what AD gonna do. I know what Bron gonna do. I even know what Danny Green gonna do. My only thing is like it's certain lineups when they go to a bench lineup where they just need a third scorer and they just don't have it right now.
I hear you.
And even granted, sometimes what was the last game that Kuzma actually played? It was in LA. The last time they played in LA, I think it was. Yeah, the Minnesota game. They weren't running many plays for Kuzma, and I'm like, at some point you gotta get Kuzma involved because you're gonna need that guy. Like, that's a guy where sometimes, hey, bro, like when Bron go to the bench or when AD out there, like I don't think AD is like, I think you have to give the AD the ball for him to score in positions. Like, you just can't, for the most part, give it, like when he's hot, but I don't think too many times you can just like give him the ball and like move away from him and walk away and like, the defense gonna load up on them and do what they do. I just still think that in some moments you're gonna need a bucket from Kuzma. They don't have that third score. When I look at the Clippers, the thing that makes them so interesting to me is they have 3 bona fide scorers.
They are.
3. Like they are only team in the league where I'm like, yo, y'all really got 3 bona fide scorers.
All time.
Scorers from the perimeter on top of that. Scorers. So that's the only thing that worries me about the Lakers is like, I need a third guy. I need it to be Kuzma. Like I said, I need Kuzma to be Kyrie. Now I don't need Kuzma to literally be Kyrie Irving and score Kyrie Irving points, but it's just in certain moments, like you gave Kyrie the ball and he just figured some shit out.
Yeah. I think the problem with Cruz this year, not problem, but it's been an adjustment process for him. One, every year of his career, he's had a different role, right? First year on the ball a lot. Second year playing with LeBron. Third year playing with LeBron and AD. And then he had the foot injury. Now he has an ankle injury. He was sick. He got hit in the eye. He was playing really well. He hit in the eye. So he's like, he has no rhythm to his game right now. And he's a rhythm player. And so that'll be an interesting process.
I agree.
But I mean, the positive for what I've seen from the Lakers, the biggest positive is how the coaching staff has approached the year. One, I didn't expect them to be this good defensively. Like, they're playing hard.
I did. That's the only
not this
area.
good. I said good. Okay, that's fair. I did not. Not this good this early. I thought it would be something where they started ramping up, but they got good really quickly defensively. Secondly, what you see, that's true, that's fair. If you watch their offensive sets, AD spoke to this. He said, we're playing 4 or 5 different systems right now. So what that tells me is that Vogel and staff, it's almost like guess and check. It's like, let's try this, see what doesn't work, take that out, let's put something else in. That tells me that their mindset is, they understand what they're playing for, right? Like, they're playing for a championship, so they're trying to build up this system throughout the year. Whereas with Luke, it was almost like he's coaching for his job. So
he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, it was almost like,
I also disagree with that.
Luke is the worst coach in the NBA.
But I'm just saying, I'm not saying Luke's a bad coach. But what I never saw a process from Luke.
I also never saw the team on the court half the time.
That's fair. I never saw a process with Luke.
That's fair.
Whereas with Vogel, I see a process it's systematic.
We also do have to remember this is Frank Vogel's fourth head coaching job. That was Luke Walton's first head coaching job. I do think just like with players, coaches need time to develop as well.
I agree, absolutely. And Vogel has said like he learned from other coaches. Yeah. He came back. He's adjusted.
I mean, his staff is crazy. Mm-hmm. Lionel Hollis, Jason Kidd, they got a great staff around him. So yeah.
No, it's been fun to watch the process. I tell Laker fans, like, man, it's been 6 years of just trash, and now enjoy the moments for what they are.
It is, but don't get ahead of yourselves because that's what y'all doing right now. A lot of them are.
100%.
They are. They mad at me because I said, if it's a championship or bust year, I will tell you when they won free agency if they get to the championship. If they get to the championship, they won free agency.
I agree.
If they don't get to the championship, they didn't win free agency to me because this year's championship or bust.
I mean, every year
it's been that way though. I've been saying this since July, and I'm sticking by it. They playing great basketball. I don't think they're the best team in NBA. I think the Bucks are because they've been together a little bit longer, and those guys look like they will die for Giannis. LeBron is working there to get his guys there. I think the Bucks just look a different level, and I'm seeing the Bucks take teams out in the first half and looking like the Warriors did when they was taking teams out in the first half, like taking them to the woodshed, and you don't even. It is the East, but also
East is better than what people.
But the East is better than the West to me this year.
On the bottom
period. As a whole, it's better.
I don't really hate that.
As a whole, I think it's better than the West this year. I think the West has been terrible this year, but I think the West has been terrible largely due to injuries and because Kevin Durant is no longer in the Western Conference. If Kevin Durant was still in the Western Conference and healthy, and Steph Curry was healthy, and Klay Thompson was healthy, the West is way better. Even if Kevin Durant is on another team in the West, the West is still But now you lose KD, you lose Klay, you lose Steph. Draymond is not what he used to be. Even he's a guy that's still, regardless of what I say, he's still been in contention to be an all-star. It's just a different thing. But yeah, man. I mean, any final words?
I haven't.
Then we said enough.
It's been a pleasure having you on, man. One thing I would really love to do as just the quick outro is just for you to just talk to the people a little bit about your background. Kind of where you come from, what you do. Because I just feel like we just got to get a little bit more into like actually letting the audience learn a little bit about the guests. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you wound up getting to this point and also how you started making videos and creating content.
I mean, in the end, so my goal was my background is I'm a DPT, doctor of physical therapy, and so I work. I grew up a sports fan. I played sports, soccer, basketball, everything pretty much. And I always loved it. I mean, I've coached sports, and so I got into kind of working with certain athletes and things like of that nature. But the biggest thing that I've always seen when it comes to the medical field is that it's just not approachable, right? And so my goal was how do I translate stuff for fans to understand? Because you do these press releases, you're like, what is this? I don't understand what this means. So it's my goal to translate that into what we're seeing.
I think you do a great job, though.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Like the Kawhi video, what does that mean? Why does he need it? And so it gives fans an understanding of, okay, now I understand it better. And I think another aspect we don't realize, when you don't see what an athlete goes through sometimes, you try to just treat him you don't treat him like a human being. But when you see it, you understand what these dudes are like. You saw it
when I see Kawhi walking, literally we wait. We as a media, a lot of media members get frustrated by waiting on him, but I mean, if he gonna go and get treatment, that's what he doing. Though.
Right, exactly. So it's we gotta understand what these guys go through to be able to relate to them. At the same time, with my videos, if you've been through that injury yourself, it might give you some information about your own self and allow you to understand yourself better, athletes better, and other people better. And that, in the end, that's the goal of my content, is just to is education. And then we can all have better conversations like we're having right now.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for coming on, man. I really, really, truly appreciate it. I just hit him up randomly, DM'd him on a whim, and he was like, "I'm down when you want to do it." I was thinking because everybody usually, in LA, Hollywood, around this time, everybody's like, "Oh, we can make it happen in January or whatever." So when you hit me up, it was like, "Yo, I'm down. Let's do it. Let's make it happen." Had to get you to come through. But yeah, man, it's been Hoops and Brews, man. It's your boy TPJ. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram @RealTPJ. That's REELTPJ. It's a film joke. You don't get it, you damn dummy. And as always, do not drink and drive. If you are under 18, 18 in Canada or under 21 in America, you better not be fucking drinking. Don't do it. It's wrong. Wait until you are old enough. As always, drink in moderation. Today we were not drinking beer. We actually haven't had beer. Oh, you know what? I think we had beer last episode, but we weren't drinking beer today. Drinking the Julio. My girl, had the Julio, so we was participating with the Don Julio. If you don't know what Don Julio is, you cut it off right now. Cut this video off right now. But anyways, man, as always, it's Hoops and Brews. We drink beer. We talk basketball. It's been a great episode. Special thank you again to our guests. Go ahead, get your plug in. Let the people know where they can find you on the internet. Follow you on your social media channels. Go ahead, talk to the people.
Yeah, so y'all can find me on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, 3CB Performance, 3 Charlie Beta Performance. And ask me any questions, whatever y'all got. So
yeah, man, send him some tweets. If you have any questions about injuries, I'm sure he'll be happy to respond to you. Make sure you go and you check out his videos. I'm gonna make sure I drop a link to his YouTube channel, not only on the YouTube link, but as well as underneath the SoundCloud. Make sure you go and subscribe to his channel. And I really, really appreciate you for taking the time out of your day to come talk basketball with us. Yell, scream, argue. It was a great show. It was honestly this is honestly the first show where really, other than for the last few minutes, we didn't talk about competition and what's going on in the league. So if you're a fan and you really, really are, you love, injury talk, or you want to dive in depth on injury talk, we just gave you damn near every injury talk you could think about. We didn't talk about Blake. We talked about DRose. We talked about Kawhi, Klay, KD. Actually, one last quick thing. Yep. Kyrie Irving, shoulder and his knee. Do you worry about his health and his future as a pro?
I don't worry as much. Shoulder impingement, man, it could be so general. We don't really know what's going on with them. Like shoulder impingement, like when you a lot of people have it. Like when you go overhead like this and you feel like that pinch, that's shoulder impingement. Okay. So the question with the Nets though this year is like, how bad is it versus are they just trying to save these guys for next year? Yeah. So that's my debate in my head. It's hard for me to say could he play? Let's say it was in a playoff game. Yeah. Could he play? Yeah. I don't know, because we don't really know enough. Yeah. But just based on the whole context, I think they're being very, very conservative with him, and rightfully so. They ain't playing for nothing this year.
And KD doesn't play. 100% doesn't play this year, correct?
I don't think so. I'd be very surprised. Only thing, if he comes back, maybe April, just for some rhythm, mid-March, maybe last month, for some rhythm like Paul George did. Yeah. But I'd be surprised even at that.
Okay.
But they've done a good job of managing expectations that we talked about. They said he's not playing. Yeah. So if he does, it's great. If he does, fans will be happy. Yeah. But they've already established he's not playing. He's not going to play. So if he does come back, it's all extra for them.
Okay, cool. Go ahead, get your plug in, man.
As always, man, follow me on Twitter at Pavy World, Pavy World, all one word, Pavverbs.com. Make sure y'all go check that out.
Yeah, man, go check out Pavverbs.com. It's the hottest new site for the latest talk on the ladies. You can check out that Pavverbs Explain podcast, starring your man's Pavy here. Usually he'll have a fine honey come through, talk with him about relationships, scream at him, call him a sexist, but at the end of the day, they still come through and they lie. I've seen it. Come on, G. Shorty was mad at you. She told you were emotionally distant. Well, actually, that's a lot of people.
That's so different from sexist.
No. Shorty was mad at you when she was coming there. She was like, the way that you talk about women, I just don't like that.
Which one?
The curly hair shorty, the one we went to the club with her friends. She wasn't mad at me. I know she would. No, I didn't say she was really mad at you. I just said that. I said they say what they say, but they still come through and they chat with you because you're the whisperer. He's the West Hollywood women whisperer. That's what we gonna start. That's your new nickname. Basketball savant. What else? Rapper extraordinaire and the West Hollywood women whisperer. That's his new name. Also, the name of this episode is Jokic's Fat Kemp, by the way. I already found the picture. I'm putting that man white ass head on Sean Kemp black ass body. But we gonna get out of here. We'll get up with y'all next time, man. Peace out, man.
Fresh like I just got a max. Roller this, we ballin' to the